toward making current assistant Mike Boynton Jr. their interim coach, the former head coach at Oklahoma State. Elsewhere, star free agent Trae Young intending to sign a 4-year, $212 million deal to stay with the Wizards, including a player option. Played a total of 15 games in both Atlanta and Washington last season, averaging 18 and 8 assists. World Cup, Argentina takes down Austria 2-0. Lionel Messi becoming the all-time leading scorer in men's World Cup history. NHL Hockey Hall of Fame class of 2026 here, including Keith Tkachuk, a decade and a half post-playing career.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Tuesday, the NBA draft kicks off. We'll tell you who should be the number one pick and who could be a big draft day steal. It's on Sports Fun, like 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Alondra Villaria. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Plum ton to talk about from this past weekend. Football Tigers got to commit the College World Series finals tonight. I'm having major World Cup FOMO. I will, in fact, explain. We will talk to Jake Madison as NBA draft is tomorrow. Pels are aggressively seeking a top 10 pick. We're going to dive into all that. Ton to do. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
As we mentioned, we will head up to Omaha in about a dozen minutes from right now. Our buddy Eddie Radosevich from Sooner Scoop will be here. We'll preview North Carolina and OU for the national championship. That's coming up here in about 15 minutes. Gigantic official visitor weekend for LSU, the final official visitor weekend here of June. And it was a productive one for LSU as the Tigers landed a commitment from Gary Burney Jr., who was committed to Houston and flipped to LSU. It was interesting on Friday, I got a text from a staff member with the list of the official visitors. And it was Peyton Houston, Devin Smith, Theo Wilson, Rick Johnson, Gary Burney, Braylon Calais, Ahmad Hudson, Miller Westerfield, Yazin Zion, Jaden Anding, Anthony Sweeney. Those were the official visitors this weekend. So I said, so who do y'all want the most? He said, all of them. But said Burney, Westerfield, Zion, and Andy. Obviously, you want them all, but like when you're looking at who you're in, prioritizing, and this person mentioned Gary Burney Jr. So let me give you a little bit of the bio, because what's interesting about Burney is he is the lowest rated commitment in this class so far. And that in and of itself isn't going to generate a lot of headlines like Ahmad Hudson or Easton Royal might, or KJ Green. But it does illustrate further how they are building the roster, and there's actually a few tidbits that I think make this a very exciting flip. So go into the bio. So Gary Burney, 6'3", 190 pounds. He's from Bossier City, goes to Parkway. 3-star. In the Rivals industry ranking, he's number 847. And if you're just ranking the receivers, he's number 117. But man, when I talked to folks this weekend about Gary Burney, they love it. Phenomenal kid, great athlete. George McDonald did an awesome job sort of developing the relationship and the rapport there and getting him here and blending that with guys with ties to North Louisiana who are already on staff. Made this sort of very natural thing, getting Gary Burney committed. But this is another instance of a guy where you continue to see a couple of things. One is length. This is a staff that wants length. They want length at corner. They want length at receiver. They want length at linebacker. They want length at end. They want length. I don't think you're going to see a lot of rosters of LSU receivers moving forward with guys that look like Aaron Anderson and Xavier Thomas. It's not a knock. I mean, those guys were outstanding players and played really hard and made big plays, but it's a different body style and skill set. We're not talking about guys that are 5'8", 5'9". Look at what they're recruiting. They're recruiting guys that are 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". And I think that's something you're going to see more. But you know what's sort of strange about this commitment in particular? Do you remember Ja'Kai Anderson? Ja'Kai Anderson from New Orleans was a receiver who committed to LSU and flipped to SMU. And the way that story went is, look, Ja'Kai Anderson was maybe like the third or fourth highest rated receiver in LSU's class a season ago. Well, he flips to SMU where he was the top rated receiver in their class. So if SMU has a budget for receivers and LSU has a budget for receivers, well, if you're the number one receiver at SMU, you're going to get more than if you're the number 4 receiver at LSU. So I look at someone like Gary Burney and I go, okay, well, this is a guy who was previously committed to the University of Houston. And 6'3", 190 from Parkway, committed to Houston, albeit Houston in the Big 12. This is probably a situation where, while he's the 4th highest rated receiver commit in LSU's class, probably would have been the top guy among the receivers in Houston's class. So interesting just to see that dynamic, that you were able to get this guy flipped from a place where he was going to be a priority to where maybe he's further down the pecking order at LSU, but how you sold him, I think, on the opportunity LSU is really important. Remember, we've talked about this so much, and I think this is another illustration. It crystallizes how this staff is going about building its roster. And at the risk of making you what's that game at baseball games, like every 9 innings, like every inning you eat a hot dog and drink a beer, by the end like you've just got to be sick of hot dogs and beers. But like, I keep playing these clips for you, but it's important because it illustrates what's happening, and now there's more evidence to back it up. Like Lane Kiffin in spring mentioned like how they're evaluating talent in the high school class.
I challenge our guys to make sure we evaluate who they are really, really well. Who is the player as they're coming out of high school? What is their mindset? How competitive are they? Because what's going to happen is most likely it's not going to go like they want in the first year. And then get into your analytics of, okay, well, if they're going to, or you're going to pay them, and then they're going to leave after year 1, then what did you really get out of them from a business sense versus the money going somewhere else?
Okay, so it's a big, long cut, but you get the gist of it, which is Kiffin saying, if we're going to recruit high school guys, they're either going to play immediately because we're going to pay them and they got to contribute immediately, or they're going to be guys that come for little to no money, but they're good character guys who are going to stay and grow and develop. Well, here you have a guy that's a 3-star, that's ranked number 847 nationally, who's from Louisiana, who got the LSU opportunity, and now you get him in this already deep receiver room. Listen, this staff will pay. They will pay for Easton Royal. They'll pay for Manchin Sales, the 5-star receiver who was on campus this past weekend as well. They'll pay for Richard Anderson and Lamar Brown and KJ Green and Ahmad Hudson. They will pay for the top-tier high school guys that are going to come in and contribute immediately. But if you're not expected to contribute immediately, are you willing to come and wait and stay and learn and grow and develop? And if so, great, they'd love to have you. And if you leave after a year, nothing's lost financially because you didn't invest anything into them. It's not that dissimilar. Remember, Will Wade said this too. I had this cut, Alondra. Will Wade said this too. When Will Wade was asked on John Rothstein's podcast, the biggest mistake he made last year at NC State, remember this?
One thing that we did last year that I made a mistake on was, we basically paid 11 guys when we went out and got 11 guys and had a lot of depth. And depth's really important for practice. It's not as important for games when you're only playing 7 or 8 guys, 9 max. And so we had some dead money on the roster.
Okay,
so
that's
one
good.
thing I'm focused.
So it's the same concept. You're not, when you have a finite amount of resources, you're not going to pay guys that aren't going to play. So Will Wade told you he's going to take his money and consolidate into 7 guys that are going to play. Lane Kiffin's telling you the same thing. It's not 7, but they're not going to pay guys that are going to come and sit because they can leave, and then you got nothing for that money. So it's interesting to see how this is still materializing. And when you look at the receiver room for 2026, they went out, you returned one scholarship receiver from a year ago in Phillip Wright. That's it. And then you went and added 9 receivers via the portal. And then you brought in 3 freshmen. So you have, or 4 freshmen. So you have 13 scholarship receivers right now. And 3, excuse me. And of your scholarship receivers this year, only Jace Brown is out of eligibility after this season. Now, you have another handful of guys that are redshirt juniors that could certainly leave. Roman Mothershed, Malik Elzy, Jackson Harris. There's others. But I think what will be fascinating is as you're seeing how this is going to develop. Remember, Lane in spring also was asked about the receivers, and he talked about, can you play this? It's about how he builds his receiver room with numbers.
We try to balance the room more. If you think of it as here's your cap number for a room, instead of being really top heavy with 1 and 2 and then not having depth. I think when we've been our best, it's because we've had 4 to 5 to 6 receivers that can all play really well.
Okay, so he's telling you, we're going to go get 13 guys and find 4 to 6 that'll play. And then when you go into, and so hopefully those guys emerge in 26. And then when you go into 2027, despite the fact that 12 of these 13 could all return, you're not returning 12 guys and then adding the 4 high school commits that you got already. You're not going to have 16, 17 scholarship receivers. Effectively, what Lane is telling you is you're going to keep building with numbers and understanding that year over year you're going to have guys leave, but you're not going to have the entire room leave. But you're going to have enough by way of high school guys in portal to supplement the guys that are in and out. Hopefully you maintain enough of your base to continue building stability within your program. And that receiver, 4, 5, 6 guys that'll play. Hopefully you get top tier guys like Easton Royal or Monchin Sales. If you don't, go get one in the portal. And then you keep building with depth and guys that you really like. Physically, athletically, character, all that stuff that makes sense financially that you could build in this roster. I'm going to tell you, I'm not saying unequivocally this is the way to do it and it's going to work and they've nailed this strategy. What I'm telling you is this is their strategy. And it's not the same thing everyone is doing. Time will tell if it were. Kurt Cignetti's got a very different strategy. He's won a national championship. He's going to get a bunch of 24-year-olds. That worked. Congrats. Fernando Mendoza was a grown-ass man. Went and got a 5th-year senior, played 1 year, won a national title. Awesome. It worked. There's many different ways to build a roster. This is clearly the way Lane Kiffin is doing it in this era. All right, our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of your Fighting Tigers, of LSU, and the official beer of America. I don't know if you can be the official beer of America, but here today, Bud Light is the official beer of America. So right there on the case. It actually doesn't say that, but it might as well. It's got the Folds of Honor logo on there. Remember, every time you grab one of these specially licensed cases of Bud Light with the Folds of Honor logo, Anheuser-Busch makes contributions back into Folds of Honor, which funds scholarships for our fallen brave men and women. So an awesome organization. If you've ever done anything with Folds of Honor, you know about it. They're great, and we're thrilled to support as well. So this 4th of July, as we celebrate the 250th birthday of America, or any day, make sure you drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. All right, let me not get a break, y'all. We'll come back. We're headed to Omaha. Our buddy Eddie Radosevich will be here as Oklahoma tries to win the national championship tonight against North Carolina. We'll preview it next on AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Watermark in the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance, Southtown, Renaissance, Baton Rouge. Beautiful, gorgeous, sprawling hotel right there on Bluebonnet. A great place to host any event that you have coming up with all of their meeting space. Grand ballroom can host up to 500 people. They've got smaller boardrooms for a dozen people. If you're coming in town or you're in town, you need a private place to have a board meeting, they can do everything. They have all the technology equipped in those boardrooms. They can even serve your meals in there as well. Awesome spot. If you've never been, go check it out. Listen, gorgeous, spacious guest rooms, pool, workout facility, office complex, the whole thing. So if you're coming in town or know someone that is and they need a place to stay, make sure you recommend Renaissance Baton Rouge. And Tallulah, right there inside of Renaissance Baton Rouge, beautiful indoor-outdoor flow to the terrace. If you've never been, make sure you check it out there at Tallulah. It's on Bluebonnet inside of Renaissance Baton Rouge.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience, or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $18,000 off MSRP plus 3.9% financing for 60 months. $18,000 off plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
Want to play baseball or softball like the pros? Then join me this Thursday at Marucci's Hitter's House on Seagan. We'll be broadcasting AFR live, so come take some hacks in the cages and meet our friends over at Marucci, the official bat of Major League Baseball at Marucci's Hitter's House.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
I'm Billy Schmidt, and I've been with First American Bank for 13 years. I have a passion of getting to know customers, getting to know their journeys, getting to know their stories, and being a small part of that, and just continuing that, and taking those relationships and expanding out into the community, just to make.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
You can always tell when Musso's out. Alondra's in, and there's just no fear of licensed music and getting banned on YouTube. Just bring it all in with the Cardigans. Love it. College baseball is going to crown a national champion tonight. It'll be North Carolina or Oklahoma. Our buddy Eddie Radosevich, Sooner Scoop, good enough to join us for a couple of minutes. Yo, dude, how are you?
Matt, how are we? I'm sure that you've done this before. It's, when you get to a day here in Omaha, it gets a little scary. It's scary hours. We're ready to go home, but very, very excited for the game tonight.
Anytime you wake up and your season can end, there's a degree of anxiety that goes according with that. But whenever you're playing for a national title in a winner-take-all game, it ramps up. So I am curious, though, how different do you feel, or is the feeling generally around the Oklahoma program today as opposed to when you woke up 24 hours ago?
Well, I think it's about the same. I mean, they still have an opportunity to win a national championship. And, I certainly don't think that anybody thought it was going to be easy, and especially a North Carolina team that has played extremely well, kind of matched what Oklahoma's done so far and through the run in Omaha. You wake up at the end of the day with the same opportunity that you had, a day before. And despite the setback last night, I think that this is a team that is kind of they've made this magical run here over the last month. Kind of based on this mantra of yesterday is dead. So it's one thing to say it. It's one thing to go in front of the media and say that they're going to put it past them. But this team has had a pretty good mindset here through the course of the NCAA tournament. And, obviously with the way that the season ended in the regular season, losing 4 consecutive SEC series, going to Hoover, not playing well against the team that you are familiar with LSU. It's almost kind of, I think talking to Brendan Brock the other day, he said that it still kind of feels like a dream. It almost feels like, and we've talked about this going into even the game yesterday, that I don't think that they realize what they've been able to put together here in the NCAA tournament, and especially when you look at the home run numbers and the power surge that they've had led by Dayton LaChance. It was something that I think throughout the season, Matt, we waited on to see. They talked about this power and how they had gone out and kind of retooled the roster, and it never came about. And then all of a sudden, on about May 9th, when Dayton LaChance hit his first home run, and then specifically over the last 18, 19 games when they've hit nearly 50 home runs, it's all kind of come together. So it's still a team that's extremely hot in the way that they're playing. And I didn't think that they necessarily played poor last night. It was just they got beat. And that's sometimes what's going to happen in baseball.
To what do the guys attribute the boost in the power numbers over the last month?
It kind of, I guess, is cliche in a way, but I think that's the one thing that they would tell you. It was kind of the mantra coming out of last night is stop trying too hard. And it became a thing where they started passing the bat, and hitting's contagious. And I think that they've had some guys run into some balls that certainly probably don't get out in Norman on a day with the winds blowing out of the south. But it's been kind of a magical run. I think that what they've been able to get from the top of the lineup, even throughout the NCAA tournament, it seems like through the bottom of the lineup. Dayton Talkie's sitting in the 8-hole. I think he's 3 for 25 now here in Omaha with 3 doubles, but he obviously had the big swing in Atlanta that sent him to the Super Regional, and then in the Super Regional in Lawrence, it was basically everybody was hitting the baseball. I think it's now 10 of the last 13 games they've had double-digit hits. They've used their speed on the base pass, which they did really well in game 1 of the series, not so much on Sunday afternoon because they didn't have a whole lot of base runners. So it's going to be interesting to see how they match up. And, tonight with 2 freshman pitchers on the mound, with Nick Wesloski going for Oklahoma and Jackson Rose going from the left side, he's going to have to flip Jackson Willis and Jason Walk over to the right side of the plate, which is probably their poor side if we're being honest about it. It'll be interesting to see who kind of blinks first tonight from the freshman pitching standpoint.
Let's talk a little bit about that pitching matchup. Eddie Radosevich is with a Sooner Scoop. He's on Twitter at Eddie_Rado if you want to give him a follow. All right, what do we expect from the freshman righty?
He's making his 3rd start of the year. I mean, I think that's the question that everybody wants to know. He was phenomenal last Wednesday against Georgia, going 5 2/3. He's a big, burly guy. Played football, actually. My guy George Stoy up here with me from Sooner Scoop wrote a big article about him. He's a McKinney Boyd product. Actually, his brother, they played football against John Mateer growing up, which was kind of a cool Oklahoma angle. He's been really good. I mean, I think he's another one of those guys that really hasn't woken up in the stage that they're on. A lot of what Oklahoma has done from a starting standpoint in the NCAA tournament has been on the backs of a trio of 3 freshmen, and Cord Rager, Xander Mercurius, and Nick Wesloski, obviously. So don't know, I think is probably the answer to your question. With that said, Oklahoma feels extremely confident where they are right now with the arms going into a winner-take-all game tonight.
Eddie, it's easy to always say what's the key, but what do you think from Oklahoma's standpoint for Skip Johnson does his squad have to do to have an edge in this game tonight?
I really think it's not get down early. I don't think that this is a team that you want to have to chase, and I think that you saw that a little bit yesterday, even though it was 3-2. Then Owen Hull hit the solo shot to make it 4-2. It seemed like there was a lot of at-bats. They weren't seeing a whole lot of pitches, and I think a lot of it had to do with them just trying too hard and trying to make the big swing. That was going to get that team back into the game, get on base. Instead of getting on base, they were trying to hit home runs, which they've been able to do at a very successful rate here in the NCAA tournament. But at the same time, you're not going to win 2 baseball games doing that. So I think the worst-case scenario for Oklahoma tonight would be looking up and you're down 3 or 4 runs in the first 3-4 innings and having to chase that entire time. So I would say getting off to a good start, which is obviously easier said than done.
You know, it's interesting, though, Eddie, the last 2 nights, the teams that lost got first inning leads and then got handcuffed. So this has been fascinating to watch how this will play out. What would Oklahoma, we know, Was in the championship series back in 22 against Ole Miss. Haven't won a championship since 94. What would a men's baseball College World Series championship mean for the Oklahoma program and athletic department?
Point blank period, just from where this team ended the regular season, it would be the most unexpected, the greatest spectacle of a national championship in the history of the school, regardless of athletics or what sport you want to call it. The 2000 team kind of came out of nowhere, obviously, in Bob Stoops' second year, but it's a football power. It's very, I think, kind of something similar to how LSU fans would feel, even though I know that they're massive baseball fans. It would be unexpected. I think that there's been so many times throughout this run, and I was up in Lawrence at the Super Regional, didn't go to the Regional in Atlanta, but I've looked at the other guys that have been covering the team on the beat, and it's just like, kind of WTF, like, where has this come from for a team that truly, like, after they got beat by LSU in the SEC tournament and kind of just how dead it looked at the end of the regular season, walking out of Bricktown in Oklahoma City where they played the Tennessee series, this was something of a kind of a dead team. It was more of a, hey, let's go ahead and start scheduling some tee times because there's going to be some weekends that are going to be open in Eddie Radosevich's schedule here. But, no, it's been fun. It would mean a lot. And obviously Skip Johnson is, I don't know how much you've been able to see from some of the press conferences. It's kind of fun to see the national media get to know Skip a little bit more intimately. He is truly one of the best guys around. What you see is what you get, and it couldn't happen to a better person. So it's been a fun ride, and I think the next 5-6 hours in Oklahoma land are going to be a little bit nerve-wracking.
We are 2.5 hours away from first pitch there at the Schwab. Eddie Radosevich, Sooner Scoop, he'll be there. You'll give him a follow at Eddie_Rado. We appreciate it, man. Thank you.
You bet. Anytime, Matt. Talk to you later.
Yeah, man. Thanks for making it happen today. It's After Further Review. We're glad you're aboard with us here. We are brought to you by First South Farm Credit. Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. You can always log on to FirstSouthFarmCredit.com, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. That's where you'll find our friends over at First South Farm Credit. Remember, it doesn't matter if you're buying 20 acres to build your family's dream home. Maybe you want the recreational property, your own hunting properties. We start to think about hunting season right around the bend. If you don't want to be hunting on someone else's property, you want to hunt on your own property, First South Farm Credit can make that dream a reality. Just start that conversation. That's what they've done for more than 100 years, is help Louisianians buy land. They're the best. So if you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. Just spell it out. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. It's interesting. I was asking Eddie about, by the way, if you're wondering, the odds tonight. North Carolina is a minus $1.54 favorite. Oklahoma is plus $1.20 underdog. So North Carolina is favored. As Eddie mentioned, a couple of freshman pitchers going tonight. I do not cheer for the SEC. I am SEC teams winning does nothing for LSU. The only thing I care about is LSU, and Oklahoma winning a national championship does not help LSU. Them getting to hang that banner, flaunt that trophy in recruiting, I have no interest in seeing that. So I would love to see North Carolina win tonight. The interesting thing, though, talking to a lot of sort of people in baseball circles, apparently, like, the Oklahoma players had a players-only meeting sometime 4 or 6 weeks ago, and they took it upon themselves to decide they were just going to start elevating the baseball and try to hit homers. And I'll be damned, it has worked. Because that is not – we saw Oklahoma at the box. They scored 9 runs in 3 games. They won the series, but they won the series scoring 9 runs in 3 games at the box earlier this year. It's just not their brand of ball. Now, Skip Johnson is a masterful pitching mind, one of the best in the sport. I don't just mean at the collegiate level. I mean, like, that's Clayton Kershaw's guy, is Skip Johnson. I mean, guys, people like Roger Clemens have lauded Skip Johnson. I mean, he is an elite, pitching coach. But that team, those players sort of took it on themselves to start elevating the baseball and trying to hit homers. And as the weather got warm and the winds blow out and the ball starts to carry, it has worked. And it has certainly paced this team, and they've continued to get outstanding pitching. So, listen, I talked about it whenever this championship series started. There's something to be said for betting on the hot hand, and that certainly has been Oklahoma over the last month of the season. And Be hard for me to go against them in this ball game tonight. Said it on Friday that I'd go with Oklahoma in the series. While I think North Carolina is the better team, certainly is the better, more talented, deeper team, all that stuff. Oklahoma's just playing better baseball. So we'll see how it goes tonight with a national championship on the line. All right, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Our Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. They do shutters too, and shades. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. All right, quick break. We'll come back, go around the SEC. Also, by the way, the Brendan Sorsby thing apparently isn't quite over yet. I'll explain what I mean next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Hey, look, as we move into two and through quarter three, toward Q3, and you're thinking about making sure you finish the year strong for your business. As you look at budgets that you set when the calendar flipped, and you want to hit those budgets, way to make sure that you maximize productivity is you got to have the right people. I think we all know that. No matter what line of work you're in, the right people in the right seats on the bus, that's what pushes productivity forward. If you need to hire, if you need the right people, you need Glow Resources. That's what they do. They can conduct on average about 50 interviews a day. So over the course of the year, Glow Resources conducts 15,000 interviews. They know the questions to ask to make sure they vet the candidates properly to get you the right people, permanent solutions for your business. It's Glow Resources. Start online. Check them out at glowresources.com. Complete employer solutions.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. Trusted by champions, built for Louisiana.
Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. Love telling you about ProForm Steel. Listen, one of the biggest things, if you're thinking of building a metal building, is lead times. Okay? At ProForm Steel, they carry 10-week lead times for industrial buildings, when most are 16 to 20 weeks. That's roughly a month shorter lead time than others because they do everything in-house at ProForm Steel. They produce everything in their facility. The purling, the sheet metal, the beam fab, everything. Right there on Airline Highway in Gonzales. It's ProForm Steel. Check them out online. If you want to start, get that quote, proformla.com, proformla.com. Their architects are in-house. Their engineers are in-house. Mid-project, you want to make a change? Cool. They don't have to translate info out of house. You just put you on speakerphone with the engineer. It's ProForm Steel. ProFormLA.com. ProFormLA.com. By the way, if you buy it, they'll deliver it for free. No exceptions. ProFormLA.com.
After Further Review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. And oh, we do shutters too.
Appropriate. 18-year-old me is geeking out right now.
Why?
Glad you asked. T. Martin just followed me on Twitter.
Oh, let's go.
Tell you what. You want to tell 18-year-old Matt that the quarterback of the 1998 national champion Tennessee Volunteers just followed him on Twitter? Well, 18-year-old Matt would go, what's Twitter? That wasn't a thing.
Right. MySpace?
No.
I mean,
no.
I'm bad at math.
Well, that's all right. You also weren't really around then.
No.
You know. MySpace would have been 2004?
Yeah.
2005-ish? Right around there. Maybe 2006? Maybe let's go 2004 or 5. By the way, you never had a MySpace. Do you know what MySpace, like...
Okay, I did have one.
No
I was
way.
way too young to have one, but I had one.
You know how you had, like, your top 8?
Yeah.
How crazy is it that Tom made us rank our friends?
And he made you be friends with him, too.
You ranked your friends!
I know.
I actually kind of like that energy a little bit. So it's like, look, here's my friend box.
This is where you're at.
Like, I just don't have enough room in my friend box for anybody else. You're just not.
Top 8. Sorry, bro.
If you're not in, you're out. That's just what it is. What were we talking about? Oh, T. Martin fouled. That's right.
Yeah.
Jake Madison in 45 minutes. Tomorrow is the NBA draft, and the Pels are, by all accounts, aggressively pursuing a trade to get back into the top 10. So if you're not familiar, I'll give you the very quick Cliffs Notes. So a year ago, the Pels had the 23rd pick. They moved up to 13 in a trade with Atlanta to select Derek Queen. Derek Queen, great player. Awesome. They hit on that draft pick. The problem is they did not top 10 protect their pick, meaning if this year's pick, which they traded to Atlanta, landed in the top 10, it would have been protected. They didn't do that. So the Pels stunk. They fell in the draft lottery. They would have had the 8th pick. Well, that pick, the 8th pick, goes to Atlanta. So the Pels do not have a pick in this year's first round. The only pick they have is number 58 overall, so in the back of round 2. Kind of tough when you're trying to build a young roster when you don't have draft picks to build your young roster. So they are, however, aggressively trying to get back into round 1 and supposedly in the top 10 because they want to draft Ament. That's the report, right? The big center out of Tennessee, 6'10", 215, had a really nice season for the Vols. And it'd be great to have another big to pair with Queen. So, I mean, you got a good young core with Queen and Fears, but you're very likely going to have to send Trey. If you're going to get in the top 10, that probably means you're trading Trey Murphy. So we'll get Jake Madison's thoughts on that if they're able to pull it off, what a trade like that may look like. But I guess my thought is, you had those guys this year with Trey Murphy, and you ended up in the lottery. You're not a good team. You need to add more. And if it takes, building your roster a different way with young assets, and that's the way you want to sort of rearrange the deck chairs, okay, let's see how it goes. I mean, if you run it back with the same core and expect different results, I mean, that's what Einstein's definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Like, you have a new head coach who presumably will be running a new system, which is defensive-based. And if you want to get size and length and rim protector, great. I'd be for it if that's the route they go. We'll be able to react to all of it when we see what a trade may look like. But apparently that is what's on the horizon. And if something happens today or tomorrow on draft day, we'll certainly talk about it. But Jake Madison will be here in about 45 minutes. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Hey, remember, on Mondays, Supper Club is closed. They're closed Sunday, Monday. So this is actually a great opportunity to go check out our friends over at Amigo Al's from Brandon and Mackenzie Landry. Of course, Brandon, everyone knows, started Walk-Ons. Supper Club, we've loved telling you about Supper Club and our relationship there. Amigo Al's is the newest concept. It's on Highway 30 in St. Gabriel. So if you're that's Nicholson. If you're going south on Nicholson away from LSU, you pass U Club, quarter mile on the left, you'll see it right there. Amazing place. Got to go sample darn near everything on the menu. And the thing that stands out so much when you think about Brandon and everything they do, their reputation is quality. So what I would recommend to you is just try Amigo Al's once. Put it on your list. I get if you live in a different part of town, it may be out of the way. So put it on your list. One, maybe a Sunday after church, or if the kids are playing ball at Traction or Elite, pop on into Amigo Al's after. Or if you're going to be on LSU's campus, just pop down Highway 30 and go to Amigo Al's. it certainly is going to cater to a lot of the U Club, Lexington, Harvest, and like LSU, the neighborhoods over there near St. Gabriel. But even like the margaritas, everything is so top. Everything is just great quality. It's all natural juice and high-end tequila. So you're not going to get all the sugar water that's going to be with you the next day, if you know what I mean. And the food is outstanding. So check it out. It's Amigo Al's right there on Highway 30. Maybe if you work at the plants up and down Highway 30, pop in for lunch. When I went like last week for lunch, it was awesome, man. A lot of folks from the plants were there having lunch. You can get you in and out in less than an hour. Ticket time's about roughly 15 minutes. You place your order, boom, you got your food and you're on your way. It's Amigo Al's right there on Highway 30 in St. Gabriel. Newest concept from Brandon Landry. All right, it's after further review. We do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Georgia Bulldogs.
No surprise here, but Georgia catcher Daniel Jackson has been named the 2021 National Position Player of the Year by the American Baseball Coaches Association and Rawlings. I mean, dude was absolutely in fuego this year. 25 homers, 25 stolen bases, the third player in Division I history, and first catcher, by the way, to hold that distinction. Third SEC player to capture the Triple Crown, led the league in batting average, homers, and RBI. Phenomenal season for Daniel Jackson, the National Player of the Year.
The Texas Longhorns.
Texas has landed Kent State transfer Sawyer Solitaria. Yeah, I nail it. Sawyer Solitaria. Yeah, no? Give me some feedback
It was
here.
good.
Just good?
Yeah.
How could I have done it better?
No, I mean, it was great.
Thank you, Alondra. Is a utility player for Kent State. Some first, some third this past year as a freshman. Or as a freshman this year, played outfield and hit 16 homers. Now he's headed to Texas.
The Missouri Tigers.
And Mizzou landed one of the top in-state football prospects for 2027, Kyler Kuhn. He's a blue-chip offensive lineman. He'll play for Eli Drinkwitz's program staying in the state of Missouri. 6'3", 290. He's a four-star, the fifth best player in Missouri, the 10th best interior offensive lineman in America.
Is there another one?
All right, there you have it. That is around the SEC. No, I like to sometimes.
Okay, I was like, I only gave you 3.
No. There you have it. That is around the SEC. Monday shows are presented by Relief Windows. That's the old radio guy in me, Alondra. I know we're on video now and everything and have been for a long time. But sometimes you just like the auditory component.
Yeah.
Of just crumpling the paper and all that sort of stuff. For those who are listening.
That just felt like a cue to me, though.
No, I do it often.
Okay.
I do that often. I guess Muse would be familiar. Paul's familiar.
Yeah.
I just do that often. Not every day, but sometimes on the last one, I just want to crumple the paper a little bit more, a little longer. All right, it is after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. As I mentioned, Jake Madison about 30 minutes from right now. The Saints are they're done with their offseason. The next time they're all together will be July the 27th. That's when rookies and veterans report for training camp. We got the training camp dates for all 32 teams today. So Saints report on July 27th. Write it down. If you don't have a pen, remember it. And that's when Tyler Shough will embark on his second year with the Saints. So something I want to do here in about 16 minutes at the top of hour 2 is look at what the Saints are returning and how it might compare for Tyler Shough to other quarterbacks who have had sort of these exponential second years in the NFL. I'll explain. We'll get to that here in about 16 minutes from right now after SportsCenter. When we come back, I got major World Cup FOMO. We'll talk about it next on AFR.
After further review.
Love telling you about Clegg's Nursery, any of the 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Sigourney Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every day to buy local, shop local. You bypass the big box stores and support great local businesses. Selection at Clegg's, unmatched. You walk into the greenhouse, either at any of the 4 locations. The Garden Center we talk about in Greenwell Springs, Terrio likes to call it like the Flower Wonderland or whatever he calls it. That thing seemingly goes on for as long as the eye can see. Paul probably passed it every day. If you're leaving Central, you pass like the Welcome to Central sign. It's like right there on the right as you're coming into Baton Rouge from Central. It's Clegg's Nursery. Any of the 4 locations. Awesome selection of flowers and plants and trees and shrubs to beautify your outdoor spaces. all the products you need to keep the pests away, including the Aeon mosquito barrier that I tell you about all the time. Soil, mulch, bag bulk, they got it, and a helpful, friendly staff of horticulturists. Where else would you go? Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Shawn Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Shawn Fagan of Locke Meredith, Shawn Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
My name is Mike Krumholt, and I've been with First American Bank for 4 years. What makes First American Bank special is we're able to offer all the products and services that any other big bank can offer. What sets us apart is being able to give that small town feel that someone can pick up the phone and they can talk to someone or stop by the branch and get excellent customer service.
Bayou Ford is taking $12,000 off MSRP on the new 2026 Ford F-150 trucks, plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
The U.S. cannot unequivocally win the World Cup. The U.S. will have to play the greatest game they've ever played 3 times in a row. Sorry, 4 games in a row. Round of 16, quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. It is literally impossible for the U.S. to win the World Cup. That's going to come across crazy. People are going to say I'm whatever. That's just the reality. But we're super excited for this ride we're on.
Well, I feel great now.
You keep that up. Keep it up. You keep my bed. Keep my bed. That was Tim Howard. The most accomplished goaltender ever in United States soccer. He was just like, hey, do not be excited for anything. It's not happening. Oh, God.
I like the guy at the end. I feel great now.
It's like in Billy Madison, whenever on the stage in the academic decathlon. Did you ever see? You never saw Billy Madison.
I did see it.
Okay, but you didn't see Happy Gilmore.
No.
Okay. It's like all of us are dumber for having heard it. A simple no would have been fine. Anyway, Tim Howard throwing a wet blanket on everybody's dream of the U.S. winning the World Cup. Look, I can't predict the world. I have no idea. I don't watch soccer. I have no idea about any of this stuff. But I believe him. And it does seem sort of far-fetched. But it's exciting. The U.S. is 2-0 in the World Cup for the first time ever. 4 years ago we didn't even make the World Cup, right? Or was it 2 World Cups ago? I don't remember. I think it was 4 years ago the U.S. didn't even make the World Cup. So to be in it, to be 2-0 is awesome. There's a couple things I love about this World Cup. Not watching any soccer because I really don't understand. I don't understand strategy. I just get you want to kick the ball into the net, and that's about it. And every 4 years I'll loosely pay attention to this and cheer for the U.S. But there's 2 things I love. Number 1 is Jameis Winston. Have you been watching Jameis? Have you been watching this?
Obviously. I'll watch anything Jameis. They hit the jackpot with him.
If you're not watching any of Jameis Winston's content, Fox has hired him to be a World Cup correspondent, and it's awesome. Him in Seattle with the U.S. fans was phenomenal. Him in Houston this weekend with the Dutch was awesome. Just go and search Jameis Winston. He's perfect. There was some lady from I don't know what country, but she had her name on a jersey and it was like Blaakmon. He's like, how do you say it? It's like Blockman. He's like, I'm a Blockman too. It's like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. That's one. So Jameis is one. And number 2 is the patriotism. You know what I loved watching the U.S. against the game? The match was Friday while we were on the air, but when they played in Seattle, the entire stadium was singing the national anthem so loudly. Did you see this, by the way?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Like
chills.
Every sporting event. And listen, the Star Spangled Banner is a hard song to sing. It is. It's a hard song to sing. That's why a lot of people generally don't sing it. But you go to a sporting event, you stand up and you barely move your lips. That's what most people do. Hand over heart and all. I mean, everyone's like cloaking themselves in the stars and stripes and patriotism and just belting out the anthem. And I love that so much. I love that. That's like even more so than in the Olympics. It feels like that's happening. So I love that. But I'm having major, major FOMO. So I am the type of person who, like, I'm down, right? Like, you want to go have an adventure? I'm here to have an adventure. I'm a yes guy. I'll say yes to things. On a whim, spontaneous, I'll go. Went to No Doubt, like last Friday. That was just on a spontaneous whim. Some friends wanted to go. I was like, hell yeah, let's book it. Book the trip. Went. So Friday, Terrio's in studio. And he says, Jonna, his wife's like, Jonna wants to go to the World Cup. So my reaction was,
let's go.
I'm in. Okay. Where are we going? Like, well, there's games in Kansas City. I'm like, perfect. My sister lives in Kansas City. I'm in. We flying. We getting tickets. We going. Who's going? So we start going down this whole path. And then he tells me on Friday there's a match. I didn't know the schedule. There was a match in Houston on Saturday. And it was the Netherlands against Sweden. I'm like, oh, awesome. Netherlands. EJ Kuiper from FMOL, who's a friend, is originally from the Netherlands, played soccer there. Had an injury which ended his career, but I'm like, well, hell yeah, man, I'll go for the Netherlands. Then then my phone heard me.
Oh, you're getting targeted?
Oh, bro. And then I find the Netherlands have this thing called their fans are called the Orange Army. Pull this up.
Yeah.
Pull this up. Paul, play this. Play that audio. This is one of the most insane things. Thousands of people in unison dancing and marching to the stadium. They call it the Orange Army. They march together in unison. Look at that. Tell me that's not one of the most incredible things you've ever seen at a sporting event.
No, that's awesome.
It's a human mass as far as the eye can see, marching, jumping, dancing, singing in unison. And apparently, like, all of Americans in these cities are now joining the Orange Army. So there's like 20,000 people. Did you see the stadium in Houston at NRG?
And it was all orange. Yeah.
Oh, it's not all. It's their entire country didn't come over here, but it's all the locals are cheering for them now. Right?
Now you want to do this.
I don't live with regret. I live through the windshield, not the rear view. But like, I almost bought a ticket and just drove my ass to Houston on Saturday morning, and I didn't because they were doing this at 8:30. I would have had to leave Baton Rouge at like 3, and I was like, man, that's dangerous. I don't want to. But now I keep getting. Now my whole Instagram For You page is this. And every time I see it, I just have more and more regret. They play Thursday in Kansas City, and my sister lives in KC. I'm thinking about hopping on a flight and getting my ass to Kansas City. Alondra, maybe after further review with Alondra on Thursday.
I'm down.
And I may just go up and watch The Dutchman.
Gonna talk a lot of Love Island.
You're going to have to fill me in on that. I don't know what any of that is. Hour 2 next.
After further review.
We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. SouthPointVW.com. I was pulling into the parish office today as Terrio was pulling out, like we were passing each other on the road on Lavo Lane. And so we stopped, rolled down the window, and he looks, he goes, did you get a new whip? I'm like, thanks for listening to the show, friend. I've only been talking about it for like the last 2 weeks. But yes, got the new Volkswagen Atlas Crossport, the 2026. Black leather interior, blacked out rims. Looks awesome. And I replaced this black Volkswagen Atlas Crossport, replacing my old black Volkswagen Atlas Crossport. That was a 2023. So got the new model. Listen, style, feel, performance of luxury without the cost. And manufactured right here in the good old US of A. Drive one of the safest vehicles on the road that's fun to drive and affordable and safe. SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction?
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
At Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer, we know you deserve value when you purchase equipment. Right now, take advantage of the powerful 3025E tractor for just $297 a month, with 0% financing for 72 months. Tractor packages with a trailer also available. Whether you're tackling land, property, or projects, get your job done. Don't wait. This offer ends June 30th, 2026. Some restrictions apply. Visit sunequip.com or stop by a Sunshine location today.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Dusty May to the Mavs. Michigan head coach finalizing a deal to become the next head coach of the Dallas Mavericks after winning the national championship in Ann Arbor. Went 64-13 in 2 seasons with the Wolverines. ESPN's Seth Greenberg not shocked to see May on the move.
It's actually easier to coach in the NBA right now today than it is in college basketball. Because in college basketball, we have no guidelines, we have no guardrails. In the NBA, you kind of have a feel what your roster is going to be. A great communicator, a terrific coach.
Greenberg on SportsCenter. Michigan working toward making current assistant Mike Boynton Jr. their interim head coach. Elsewhere, star free agent Trae Young intending to sign a 4-year, $212 million deal to remain with the Wizards. 4-time NBA All-Star, played a total of 15 games in both Atlanta and Washington last season, averaging 18 and 8 assists. World Cup, Argentina takes down Austria 2-0. Leo Messi becoming the all-time leading scorer in World Cup history.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Tuesday, the NBA draft kicks off. We'll tell you who should be the #1 pick and who could be a big draft day steal. It's on SportsFun, like 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2. Off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Hey, Will.
Hey, bud. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Londra Villarreal. And Mr. Toby Tomplake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Jake Madison here in about 15 minutes from right now. NBA draft is tomorrow. Pels reportedly are actively pursuing a trade into the top 10 of the draft. So we'll talk about that with Jake, what that may look like. Should they do it? We'll get into all that coming up here in about 15 minutes from right now. The New Orleans Saints offseason is over. They finished mandatory minicamp, OTA's mandatory minicamp. Now they have a break for about 6 weeks until they convene July 27th for training camp. Rookies and veterans will report on July 27th to the Saints facility in Metairie, and that's when they will begin training camp for the 2026 season. Year 2 of Tyler Shough, year 2 of Kellen Moore, and an increased degree of expectations. Before he left last week, Tyler Shough met with reporters, and he did talk about what the next 6 weeks are going to be like, and there's something mixed in here that I found really interesting.
Yeah, I'll be in Oregon, and then I'll be in San Diego. Drew's kind of helping set up our QB wide receiver throwing retreat, so we're getting all the guys to come down there and be able to just work and bond together. And then for me, it's just kind of continue to study the playbook and then just put my feet and my eyes in the right position. That's my whole focus. And right now, this OTA phase, you're not necessarily getting full speed padded reps, but you're installing all these new plays, making sure we're getting everything right. And I think we've done a really good job of that as a team, and we've gotten closer. That's kind of the main thing. We just highlighted in the team meeting room all the fun things that we've done this whole offseason, and this is probably the tightest bunch that all of us have been around.
So a lot of that was good to hear. Tight bond, install, all that sort of stuff during this offseason work. But the thing he mixed in there that I thought was great was talking about going to San Diego, and that Drew, meaning Drew Brees, is helping them put together an offseason like quarterback receiver, I'm going to call it a combine, but sort of a retreat, I think is the way he phrased it. And that's something that Brees would organize during the off seasons when he was playing. And what an incredible resource. Like, actually, let me, if I could, pull back, because sometimes it's hard to see the forest through the trees when we're talking about the Saints, if it's a team that you love. Fernando Mendoza, who just finished his rookie or his first minicamp in Las Vegas with the Raiders. Now, remember, the Raiders have Kirk Cousins there as well. But the Raiders also, one of their owners is Tom Brady. So Mendoza sits down after a practice with the Raiders' social media. This interview went on YouTube, and he was asked about the relationship and conversations and what he's learned from Tom Brady.
No, I usually like to keep the conversation between Tom and I private, but I do think
a philosophy.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Approach.
I think that what he said is, as a quarterback, you need to be the most everything. You need to be the most competitive. You need to be the most leader. You need to have the most leadership. You need to be the toughest, mentally and physically. And you got to embody all these things and lead by example before gaining that equity and respect by your teammates in order to lead effectively. And so that really resonated with me and the other quarterbacks.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know how much that actually matters. Tom Brady says you need to be a leader. Okay. I mean, Tom Brady says anything, you do it because he's the greatest quarterback ever. But I think the point is that Mendoza said at the beginning of that bite, I don't like to talk about, what Tom and I talk about. So clearly, I guess it's to say he has a Hall of Fame quarterback that he's the greatest quarterback ever that he's using as a sounding board, as a resource. Well, now bring that closer to home. It's pretty clear Tyler Shough has that with Drew Brees. If Brees is helping him organize quarterback and receiver retreats in San Diego where Drew lives, what an incredible resource for a young quarterback to have at this point in his career. And, I started thinking about this where going into year 2 with Tyler Shough and what's possible. And the thing that made me think of it was 2 recent examples. Number one is what we just saw in the AFC. Drake May just led the New England Patriots to the Super Bowl in his second year in the NFL. And he wasn't the full-time starter as a rookie. Now, I'm not saying the Saints are going to the Super Bowl, but Drake May just did that in year 2. In a winnable division, a manageable schedule. Sound familiar? They had some breaks in the postseason. Bo Nix is injured when they played Denver, and they made it to a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow. As a rookie, his knee exploded because his offensive line was atrocious. But he battled his way back, and in year 2, they got hot and went to a Super Bowl. And if anybody could have blocked Aaron Donald, Burrow would have hit Jamar Chase, and they would have won the Super Bowl. Those are second-year guys. And actually, so it sent me down this path of, what other players, quarterbacks, in their second year had, high-level success. I mean, guys like Donovan McNabb and Dante Culpepper certainly on the list. Carson Wentz was tracking to be the NFL MVP in his second year, and then he got hurt. And he was replaced by Nick Foles, also in his second year, who won the Super Bowl in 2013 in Philly. There are so many examples. The old adage, and it's cliche to say the biggest, the most improvement is year 1 to year 2. But it actually does make sense. Jared Goff was the first overall pick. His second year in the NFL, I hate to say it, but it's when they came to New Orleans in the NFC Championship game. Saints got no called. But Goff went to a Super Bowl in year 2 with the Rams. Tom Brady in 2001 was in his second season in the NFL when Drew Bledsoe got hurt and he led the Patriots to the Super Bowl that was played in New Orleans. That was year 2 of Tom Brady. Peyton Manning set the NFL rookie record for interceptions in 1998, and the Colts went 3-13. In 1999, he was the NFL MVP runner-up. Lamar Jackson, in his second season, ran for a quarterback record 1,200 yards. Patrick Mahomes, in his second season, got Kansas City to the AFC Championship game where they lost to Brady. There's older examples like Dan Marino, who went to the Super Bowl in 1984 in his second season. And then Kurt Warner is probably the greatest example of it back in 1999 in his second season. We know his sort of circuitous route in the NFL, but the greatest show on turf, and they won the Super Bowl, they won the MVP and all that sort of stuff. But the point is, I just rattled off a list of, a dozen quarterbacks who in their second year had these amazing parabolic run-ups. And I'm not telling you that I think that should be the expectation for Tyler Shough and these New Orleans Saints. What I do think, though, that Tyler Shough has in common with a lot of those, in many instances, quarterbacks who took over bad situations, but were great leaders and had a modicum of success, but had also spent that year over year building good teams around them. And I think when you look at New Orleans and what they've done in this offseason and committing to Tyler Shough, is they've gone and said, okay, well, let's protect him. You go spend on the best guard in free agency. Let's get him receivers. You use a top 10 pick to bring in a dynamic player like Jordan Tyson. And you went and fortified your defense a bit more as well. I don't know that this means the Saints are going to the Super Bowl. I'm certainly not predicting that. I'm not telling you that the Saints are gonna do what the Patriots did a year ago, or Nick Foles leading the Eagles in 2013 to a Super Bowl, or Brady in 2001. But I guess what I'm saying is there are enough examples, even in recent NFL history, to suggest that if you get the right guy in the right situation, you can have that trampoline effect, that big bounce in year two. And remember, a year ago, Tyler Shough wasn't even the starter. He was still, at this point, he was battling for the job with Spencer Rattler. Now he's had the entire offseason where it's unequivocally his. No one denies it. And they have invested the resources to build around him to give it an opportunity. I mean, when I think about who the Saints were throwing the football to in Week 18 a year ago, and you're looking at Kevin Austin and Audric Estime and Samori Toure, yeah, that's a thing. And now what they've built in the offseason, there is reason for optimism. I'm not pounding the drum as a giant homer telling you they're going to the Super Bowl. I'm just telling you, for the first time in half a decade, there's a reason to be optimistic. And there's plenty of illustrations and examples in recent NFL history to say, this could be a good year, man. They could win a bad division, get in the playoffs, and if you have the right draw and the ball bounces your way, maybe you go on a little bit of a run. It'd be exciting to see as the Saints head into this offseason. Got to go stay healthy, make the most of these next 6 weeks so they come to camp on July 27th, ready to roll. All right, it's After Further Review. We are glad to have you aboard with us here. We are brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics, OLOLRMC.com/LSU. Man, it's so exciting. If you missed it a week ago, our friends over at Our Lady of the Lake announced and unveiled the FMOL Health Our Lady of the Lake Cancer Institute, continuing to expand healthcare in our area. It doesn't matter if it's your primary care physician, if it's cancer, stroke, heart, pediatrics. Last week we had Drew over at the Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital. He had to see a GI doctor. But the point is, no matter what it may be, what type of healthcare you may need, Our Lady of the Lake brings world-class healthcare right here at home. FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, and LSU. Together, we roar. All right, it's After Further Review, y'all. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows. We're going to knock out a break. NBA Draft is tomorrow. Excited to have Jake Madison jump aboard with us from Locked On Pels next. The Pels going to trade into the top 10. It sure seems that way. Should they? We'll get Jake's thoughts on it next here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Man, I love telling you about Darren James because nobody's going to work harder to get your home sold faster for more money and give you a stress-free, enjoyable experience than Darren James. He's got that thing absolutely mastered. You see, at Darren James and Associates, brokered by LPT Realty, Darren demands it from everybody on their staff. Right? I've told you this before, but they use the Disney model where if every employee at Disney, like if they see a child crying or if they drops an ice cream cone, they got to go get the child a new ice cream cone. Just nobody's allowed to have a bad time. That's the methodology Darren wants. When you look at surveys, moving is routinely ranked as one of the most stressful experiences people have. Darren and his team want to remove that stress and let you have an enjoyable experience as you move on to a new phase of life. And so often that's what happens when you're moving into a new home. It should be exciting. And Darren wants that to happen. He wants you to have results. So you need to sell your home. you need Darren James. Agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Better coverage for less money. Say it every day with Insurance Network of Louisiana. That's what they do. They shop independently for free to see if they can get you better coverage for less money. We're talking home, auto, umbrella, flood, all of it, and business insurance. I'm going to tell you, like, real talk just for a minute. Business owners, like, come on, gather around for a minute. Like, we all understand that when you're looking at a balance sheet, every line item matters. And sometimes you have hidden expenses that you just forget about. Money you have invested into other processes or things that you just haven't looked at in a long time. Auto draft, not that dissimilar from our life. Your business insurance could be part of that. Insurance Network of Louisiana saves businesses tons of money every month and every year by looking at your policies to see if they can get you better coverage with top-rated companies for less money. Let Insurance Network of Louisiana shop for free so you can save. 293-0450, 293-0450.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Can't wait to see what the Pels do with the 8th overall pick. Oh, wait. They traded it. Jake Madison is with us, Locked On Pels. Draft is right around the bend, and the Pels apparently are trying to get pretty aggressive here, according to reports. Hey, thanks for the time as always, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on here, Matt.
Yep, it's our pleasure. Okay, let's start, if we could, go retroactive and then come back, because obviously we know that the Pels traded their pick a year ago. It landed Derek Queen, which clearly they've hit on, but they didn't top 10 protect that pick. Jake, I don't want to do this revisionist history thing, but remind me, like, is that something that was even feasible? Could they have done that a year ago when they made this trade?
Yeah, who really knows? But we've seen that the Pelicans clearly liked Derek Queen. It sounded like kind of the rest of the league knew they wanted Derek Queen. And that probably loses you a bunch of leverage in negotiations here. So maybe they could have put some more protections on it. I don't know if they would have gotten top 10 protection. Could you have gotten top 4? Yeah, maybe. And the pick didn't end up anywhere there. So I don't know if it matters either way, but I think you look at the process to acquiring Derek Queen and that trade, and there were definitely flaws with it.
Okay, what flaws?
I think it's one of those things where you've got to realize the value of first-round picks and the direction that this team wants to go in. And I think one of the things is if you're adding 2 rookies drafted in the lottery, you saw it this past year. It's just kind of historically been the case in the NBA. Rookies don't help you win. So if this is a franchise that is trying to win games, as they were last year with Joe Dumars in, his first year there, you've got to understand that while Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen are going to be good players in the long term, you're not going to become a winning team overnight with those guys added into it. And so because of that, and losing 26 games still, and you don't have a pick in this draft, it feels like last year was just a waste. Like, what did you have to gain from that sort of thing? And so I think you've got to look at it in the overall process of building a team up as there being flaws in it, not just with that individual trade.
All right, Jake, when you look at the roster as it is right now, part of me looks and goes, all right, well, you can't just run it back with the same squad and expect different results. So you got to do something different. First start there. Does that make sense? Like, do they need to shuffle the deck a bit here?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this team knows it. We've heard from Joe Dumars recently saying this team won 26 games. We can't be married to any specific players. And you're hearing that kind of play out with some of the rumors and stuff that I can confirm even right now. At the trade deadline last year, they were basically shutting down any calls around Trey Murphy, around Herb Jones, around Zion Williamson. They were just not open for business, essentially, back in February. But now we're hearing they are, at least taking calls on Trey Murphy. They are taking calls on Herb Jones. I don't want to say they're actively shopping either of them because I think that would be incorrect, but they're listening to trade offers. And that's a pretty big step from where they were before. And so I think they realize this team as constructed just was not good enough last year, and they realize they need to make some big changes. They need to decide if they are going to go through a rebuild and kind of embrace the more youthful timeline, building around Fears and Queen, or if they're still in the win now timeline, which is prioritizing a Zion Williamson. And I think they don't actually know what they're trying to do yet. I think they're trying to let the market set that a little bit. If you could get a guy like Jaylen Brown in, even if you have to move a Trey Murphy, that's a win now kind of move. But we've also heard, and I haven't reported on this, but they've been talking to Atlanta a little bit about the 8th overall pick, which is ironically the Pels' old pick, in a potential Trey Murphy trade. And if you are at a top 10 pick to this team, we just learned rookies aren't going to help you win right away. So if they do that, are they committing to that youthful timeline? And I think they're kind of just seeing what the market's going to play out.
Should they be in win now mode?
No, they should not. I've been pretty clear on how I feel about this over at the podcast for the past year. They should not be trying to win now. The West is hyper competitive. And when you look at this team, look, it just hasn't worked in the 7-year Zion Williamson era, as simple as that. And, in the 2 times they've made the playoffs, he hasn't been healthy to play in either of them during his time here in New Orleans. If it was going to work, it feels like it would have worked by now, and it simply hasn't. With how competitive the Western Conference is, Oklahoma City's not going anywhere. The Spurs just made the finals, and they're one of the youngest teams in the league. You still have Nikola Jokic, right? The Lakers are the Lakers. You're not going to be breaking into that top 4 anytime soon. So is it maybe a better opportunity to trade away some of the value players you have? Trey Murphy's going to get you multiple first-round picks. Herb Jones will at least get you 1 first-round pick. In my opinion, it's better to sell high on those type of players and go through a rebuild. Rebuilding's not fun. You lose games, but at least you try and kind of sell youth and the potential of what these players could be versus trying to just be, at best, a play-in tournament in the Western Conference.
Would you rather Trey Murphy or the reported 2 first-round picks he might net?
It depends on what you're trying to do. I think if you're trying to rebuild, those first-round picks are more valuable in what this team needs right now. So I would certainly say, my take on it is this. If you're trading away Trey Murphy, you're likely going to make the team worse. So if you're going to make the team worse, commit to being worse and commit to the youthful timeline here. You can still try and win games while you're building around the young guys. It's likely not going to happen, but maybe they surprise. But I've been kind of at the point of just tear it down and build this up again, because clearly the group they've had has just not been able to get it done consistently, and that's definitely what this franchise needs. They just need more consistency when it comes to playoff appearances, and you'll see a surge of support for it. You can sell the fan base on youth and these young guys, and I think that's what they need to be doing.
Jake Madison's with us, Locked On Pelicans podcast. Subscribe, podcast, YouTube, either. It's always free, Locked On Pelicans. He's at NOLA Jake if you want to give him a follow. Real quick, Jake, one more as we go back. They weren't open. The front office wasn't open to trades at the deadline. What has changed?
The record. Simple as that. They won 26 games. You can't hide from that. This was a team that had one of its healthiest seasons in years as a franchise, and they still weren't good. You can't run from it. The data, the evidence is right there in front of you. And them having a losing season, I think, has made it sink in a little bit. They were really excited about bringing in someone like Jordan Poole. He played terrible for the team when he was healthy. It's just enough evidence that that it seems like maybe they can't delude themselves into saying, well, we could win. I can tell you one of the reasons why they weren't trading anybody at the trade deadline was they still felt really good about making the playoffs, not just the play-in tournament, making the actual playoffs. You'll remember they had a 5-game winning streak, and they were feeling really good about themselves and where they were, and then they promptly followed that up with a 9-game losing streak. And this team still finishing 10 games out of the final play-in spot, 11 games, even worse, 11 games out of the final play-in spot. You can't run from that. You can't just convince yourself, oh, we're so close if only we had health. You had a healthy Zion Williamson, and it just didn't work. And I think they are dealing with the reality that, the roster just isn't competitive enough in the Western Conference, even if individually you like some of the pieces and some of the players that you have.
All right, Jake, I want to scratch a few more items off the list. You mentioned Jaylen Brown. We've heard that rumor out there. Do you think a trade with Boston for Jaylen Brown is feasible?
Yeah, I think it's feasible. It really depends on Milwaukee. The way I would envision that would likely be a 3-team deal where Giannis goes to the Boston Celtics, Jaylen Brown comes to New Orleans, and then, whether it's Trey Murphy or other picks end up going to Milwaukee. And I think that's how you would see that deal get done. So it's, right now the entire trade market in the NBA is being held up by the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis, and whether he goes to the Boston Celtics or the Miami Heat. And then you'll see things kind of quickly fall into place. But yeah, I could see a world where the Pelicans give up another future draft pick along with Trey Murphy to get a Jaylen Brown kind of level player who is an all-NBA guy and in theory makes your team better.
Okay, if let's say it's not Brown and they make a trade back into the top 10. You mentioned Atlanta at 8, which is a trade back for your own pick. But if it is the 8th pick or to get into the top 10, we've all heard Ament from Tennessee. Is that the target, or is there someone else?
I think he's one of the targets. This team definitely, tends to fall in love with certain players and certain draft picks. And I think he's a guy that, they're really looking at. He fits Troy Weaver, who's not, his title is not general manager, but essentially the general manager of the team, fits the type of player profile from where he grew up in terms of what he's looking for growing up in Virginia. So I definitely think he's a guy. And look, he's 6'10", and he has all of the athletic tools you look for in a modern NBA wing. And looks like he can defend both defend and play offense. So he's a two-way player. He can defend multiple positions. I also think they're looking at the guys from Michigan, right? Morris Johnson Jr. is definitely a prototypical NBA big. If you just simply want to add size, Mara from Michigan is a guy that you could easily put into your starting lineup and all of a sudden get rebounding and rim protection, two things the Pelicans have been lacking for the past couple of years. So I think they could see a way to add to the core of Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen with a complementary piece at the top of the draft in a number of different directions.
How does Jamal Mosley's style change or affect who they might be targeting or what the direction might be on Tuesday?
Do you mean that in terms of who they might draft or the type of... Let me answer it this way. I think that can mean multiple things here.
I left it wide open intentionally, Jake.
Okay. Just making sure here, Matt. I think when you look at Jamal Mosley, one of the reasons they hired him was they really liked how he molded that very young Orlando team into being a defensive first team with a clear identity. And look, took them pretty far. Mosley is definitely a good coach. When they kind of explained that, I wondered how that fits into this Pelicans team. Because when you looked at Orlando when he started in there were guys in their first, second, and third years in the league. They were young. Those guys were no older than 22 years old. You look at the Pelicans and you see Trey Murphy at 25, 26, 27, Zion Williamson above 25, right? This is not like a young team looking for a coach to mold them and who they could become. These guys are largely established, and we know who they are. So I also do think if you're looking for Mosley to kind of mold a young team and do what he did in Orlando, trading away a Trey Murphy, trading away a Herb Jones, potentially trading away a Zion Williamson and filling it with guys that are 22 years and younger, kind of fits. So I also do think that kind of pivoting to Mosley to kind of be the head coach of a bit of a rebuild does make some sense to me. And that's why I definitely see that they are trying to trade into the first round and ideally into the top 10 to get one of the players that they are targeting. So I think that's more likely than them trading for a Jaylen Brown level player.
Best guess, what do you think happens here in the next, let's call it 30 hours?
You know, I think you see a Trey Murphy trade. It just kind of feels inevitable at this point, and frankly, he's the best trade asset that the Pelicans have. And as you hear these rumors coming out and from the conversations that I've been having, they seem like they're just trying to get more draft picks. And if they didn't learn the lesson from last year that those draft picks won't help you win right away, which you would hope they would have gotten that lesson, it just points to a rebuild, I think. And so I feel like the Pelicans are kind of finally starting to commit to the direction that they probably need to go in, that they've been reluctant to embrace.
He is Jake Madison, Locked On Pelicans. Follow him at NOLA Jake. There's never a better time than right now with the draft right around the bend here to go follow Jake. Again, YouTube or podcast, Locked On Pelicans. Make sure you're subscribed. It's always free. Hey, man, we always appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thanks for having me on, Matt.
Absolutely. Jake Madison. He deserves a sub because that dude puts out daily New Orleans Pelicans content. Bro, that ain't easy to do when you're covering a team that wins 26 games. Daily Pels content. Guy's the best. He's thorough. He's awesome. Always love talking ball with Jake. So go follow him. Locked On Pelicans or at NOLA Jake on Twitter. Excuse me. Get a sip of my Evermore. Something I could do if I was at the Dallas airport because they carry it there. They actually have national distribution. You can go all over the country and buy Evermore. But not at the New Orleans airport or Baton Rouge. Come on, y'all. Local Louisiana product. EVA MOR. I challenge you all the time when you're going through the store, if you buy bottled water, grab Evermore. If you want to do a side-by-side taste test, trust me, you'll love it. It's delicious, clean, straight from the source, natural artesian water. Healthier alternative for you, your family. You want to drink something real, like straight from an artesian well right into the bottle, you want Evermore. EVA MOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com. Drink Evermore and take a picture and send it to me. I love when you'll send me pictures or tweet me pictures of Evermore out in the wild. EVA MOR, Evermore.com. All right, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. We're halfway home on this Monday edition of AFR. Baseball Tigers are set to have a couple of portal targets on campus this week. We'll get to that here in about half an hour from right now. When we come back, though, I do want to dive into two things. We'll have time to knock out two topics. One, it's been a little bit of it has been a roller coaster a couple of weeks here in the portal in the month for Beth Toreen and the softball squad. I think it's a very clear indication, athletic department-wise, of something that's happening. And there's another lawsuit the NCAA just lost today. I'll explain next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon. Get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. You know what to do. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. Follow him at Get Gordon on any of the social medias, of course. Or you can go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com. Always creative with the marketing. So Gordon, I don't know if you've seen it, but the new Gordon billboard and social posts, the World Cup Gordon post. He's got the soccer ball and his dogs have jerseys on. Soccer kits on. Listen, he likes to have fun with marketing. We all know that. But when it's time to get serious and represent you, if you've been injured and getting what you're entitled to, Gordon and his team, there's nobody better. They're all over the state of Louisiana with local offices all over the state. So no matter where you are, there's someone nearby that can help. Just go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com, or call the 8s. 888-8888, 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
I've been in banking for over 35 years. I usually start about 7:30 in the morning, and I usually leave somewhere around 5, or if customers need me to meet them at their house or their business places, I don't mind going after hours. I have done churches, subdivisions, retail centers, hospitals, and nursing homes. And that's why we chose to live in this community, because of the values First American Bank has, that I can serve my community and my customers.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. And oh, we do shutters too.
You know, there's an uncomfortable reality about this era of college athletics, which is that you can't be elite in everything. You can compete and you can be good. You can't be elite in everything. Unequivocally. There are no exceptions. You got to decide what you want to be great at, because there are a finite amount of resources, both in revenue share and then what you can generate in true third-party NIL. And so everyone is going to invest the max amount in football because it is the sport that drives the bus. It is the engine. If you do not have a winning, profitable football team, everything else falls after that. Men's basketball is the other opportunity to turn a profit. So those two are naturally going to get the lion's share of the money. The question is, after that, where do your resources go? And at a place like LSU, it's challenging because you have been good in so many sports for so long, and you do have elite championship level coaches in multiple sports that expect to have the resources to win championships. Kim Mulkey, Jay Johnson, Jay Clark, understand that. So all that to say, it's been interesting because I've gotten a lot of questions lately about Beth Tarina and LSU softball. And understand that softball isn't necessarily the most mainstream sport, and people will sort of casually observe. They like that the team does really well and want it to go to OKC and win championships. And Beth Tarina has been at LSU for a long time and is the winningest coach in program history now. And she's been on the show, and I think the world of Beth, candidly, both professionally and personally. So just, moment of disclosure. The reality is I just rattled off football, basketball, women's basketball, baseball, gymnastics, and then you get softball. That's 6. When you're 6th in the pecking order, You just don't have the resources. And you can roll your eyes at that and shrug your shoulders and say that's not an excuse. But I'm not making an excuse. It's the explanation. I mean, LSU in this portal cycle has had 8 players go into the transfer portal. Now, one of them is Kylie Edwards, who went in and then left the portal and came back. And now she's withdrawn. And you've added Mickey Winchell from Notre Dame. And a few conversations today. I think they should add a couple of more players this week via the portal, so be on the lookout for that. But all that to say, when you don't have the total buy-in to retain your roster, what is inevitably going to happen is the programs that are committing those resources to softball are going to cherry pick the best players in the country. And I'm talking about Texas and Texas Tech and Oklahoma. You know who they are. You know the usual suspects. And LSU is not one of them. So LSU is a program that can go recruit great high school players and get them here. And if they play well enough, you're going to have the best programs in the country try to poach them. Jaden Heavner. It's the reason your best pitcher is at Texas Tech right now. They paid her a lot more money than you could. So she took it. Hard to blame her in this era. But that's the reality that's facing Beth Torino or anybody that would coach LSU. Because as much as you want to be elite in everything, it is not possible. It's not. It's not possible. You have to pick what you want to be elite in, like compete for national championships. And that's the reality facing that program right now. So, and you say, well, how do you fix it? Well, how do you fix it? Well, you invest more money to retain your roster or go get elite portal players. And if you can actually put the shoe on the other foot, like look at LSU baseball. Look at Bino Waters. Notre Dame recruits Bino Waters. He goes to South Bend, hits 360, a couple of great seasons. And what happens? Portal. Why? Because programs like LSU are going to pay him. See, LSU is part of the haves in a lot of other sports. But you got to choose what you want to be great in. LSU's chosen they want to be great in football and men's basketball. And you got to be great in baseball. And Kim Mulkey has her base of support that are going to allow her to be really competitive in women's basketball and compete for championships. It's the way it's always going to be. And right now, it is really tough because LSU softball does get some rev share, but that and NIL is not enough. It is not shown to be enough to be able to fend off the wolves, the poachers, who are coming to take your best players. Like LSU is doing in baseball and football and all the other sports, right? But that's the uncomfortable reality right now in college sports, which is it is not possible to be national championship elite in everything because it's no longer good enough to go work really hard and sell your program and recruit a bunch of great high school athletes and get them here and keep them here for 4 years and develop and build a championship culture. Because if you get a great athlete here and they play well for a year or two, here come the poachers. And that's not a criticism because LSU is that program in other sports. That is what LSU just got Bino Waters. And they went and got the best player at Texas State. And they got the best player at Tulane. And they got the best pitcher at Gonzaga. Like, that's what LSU's doing. So it's not a criticism. It's the reality of what the world is right now. So unless you find some magical font of cash, you got a billionaire booster who's willing to pay $1 million for a pitcher. It's your reality. And you got to accept that's just what it's going to be. Unless and until the rules or something changes that levels the playing field financially. But the thing that works for LSU in other sports is going to work against it in some sports. And that's not just an LSU problem. That's universal. You have to choose what you want to be elite in. And you're seeing that right now with softball program. It's after further review. Glad you're with us. You can always email us, tweet us, or text. You can text 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. We're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Man, vacation season's here, y'all. We're hitting the road to the beach in a couple of weeks. Our annual beach vacation will be there around the 4th of July. If you're hitting the road to the beach or the mountains in Tennessee, maybe it's baseball, travel ball season, maybe you're hitting the road with your kiddos this summer, make sure if you do, before you do, you need to bring the vehicle to go get it tuned up, checked, or you need new tires, bring it to Shawbills, where they'll always sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices, and they'll keep you coming back because they treat you like family. You need the oil change? Shawbills. Tires rotated? Shawbills. Check engine light, brake, squeaking, tires shaking a little bit, whatever's going on with your vehicle, take it to Shawbills, where they'll treat you like family. And, of course, if it's time to change those tires, they'll sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices. ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Shawbills! We keep you rolling. Northwestern, that Northwestern in Evanston, not Northwestern in Natchitoches, Northwestern in Evanston. Their starting center, Jackson Carcello, he got an injunction on Monday, makes him eligible for 2026. Yep. Got an additional year of eligibility. Had an ankle injury in 2022. Redshirted, said basically it was the ankle injury that kept him out. The NCAA said, nope, you already took a redshirt year. So he went to court, got an injunction. I think it's hilarious, though, because even elite academic institutions like Northwestern, they have lost their way. I'll say it again. The problem is not that there are no rules. The problem is that schools don't want to follow the rules, because if you can get your fifth-year senior eligible for another year, it's lucrative for him who doesn't have an NFL future, and it's better for your program. Even these distinguished academic institutions are showing you it's all about wins and losses. Oh, by the way, do you know who Northwestern's offensive coordinator is this year? Do you know? Alondra?
No.
Chip Kelly.
Oh.
Got him a starting center today. What a weird career arc for Chip Kelly.
I was about to say interesting.
Have you ever looked at Chip Kelly's career arc? It is unbelievable. It's one of those, the only rivaled, I would say, by Rich Rodriguez, and Rich Rod never had an NFL stop like Chip Kelly did as a two-time NFL head coach. Anyway, all right, it's after further review. We'll wrap up hour number 2 with Tigers and the Pros next.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Goodwood, men's sexual wellness, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Hey, remember, if you want to feel like your younger self, Goodwood can help. If you got ED issues, they can help with multiple ED treatments, hormone replacement therapy, simple blood test. I mean, they'll take a vial of blood. It takes you less than 5 minutes. They'll get in there, take a vial of blood, send it off to the lab within half a day. They'll have the results, and they'll let you know if you're a candidate for hormone replacement therapy. It can change the way you feel every single day. And then, of course, peptide therapy. You've heard about peptides. Everyone talks about peptides now. Everyone promotes them. Goodwood has been at the forefront. They've been selling peptides. Told you I take peptides, NAD+, BPC 157, Sermorelin. There's so many different treatments that can help you accentuate the way you feel and the way your body performs every single day. You want to learn more about how you can regain your youthful energy? yourgoodwood.com. Check them out online. They're on Drusilla in Baton Rouge. yourgoodwood.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $18,000 off MSRP plus 3.9% financing for 60 months. $18,000 off plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Want to play baseball or softball like the pros? Then join me this Thursday at Marucci's Hitter's House on Seagan. We'll be broadcasting AFR live, so come take some hacks in the cages and meet our friends over at Marucci, the official bat of Major League Baseball at Marucci's Hitter's House.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. Now the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinela.com and tell them Matt sent you.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
I got this CD from Columbia House. Circa 1996 or 1997. Do you know what Columbia House is, Alondra?
I don't actually.
It was one of the mail-in, like you'd send them a penny and they'd send you like 10 CDs.
Like what Netflix used to be. They used to mail you the DVDs.
Did you have to return the DVD to Netflix?
I think so.
You did, yeah. Like the Red Box thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you get to keep these, though. You spend like a penny and they'd send you like 10 CDs. But the problem is, once you're in, if you didn't pick your CD every month, then they just kept sending you a CD. It's like, wait, I don't want it.
Like, I already have it.
And you couldn't go, well, no, a different CD.
Oh.
Like from the catalog.
Okay.
It's when people bought CDs. Anyway.
I still buy CDs.
Wow, that's a choice right there.
I like physical media.
White Town is the name of this band. The name of the album I'd rather not say on air. Are you looking at the name of the album?
I think so. It doesn't seem that.
Nope.
Okay, then I'm not.
You're not looking at the album.
Nope.
The name of the song is Your Woman.
Right.
But no, that's not the name of the album. The name of the album is something that when it showed up in the mail at the Scone household, and I'm sure Mama Scone saw, it's like, this is going right back, is where this is going. Anyway. Okay, Alondra. Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Okay, so I'm going to get this one out the way real quick because I feel he's not necessarily a Tiger in the pro, but I feel like it should be mentioned. Coach John Brady, he was inducted into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame.
No, he was not. That's this weekend because I'm.
He's going to be inducted into it.
Because I'm actually.
But still,
doing the on
we'll
stage.
mention it.
I'm doing the on-stage interviews.
Oh, shout out! Well, he's going to be inducted. Brady led LSU to the 2006 Final Four. So tell Moose already took care of that one.
I mean, Alondra, not gonna, to be honest, the announcement of the election came like 6 months. It was like August.
Okay, well, it's happening this weekend
to
remind everybody.
I
saw him post about it, so let me just give him a shout out.
Okay.
Angel Reese became the fastest WNBA player to reach 1,000 rebounds.
Let's go!
Yeah, third quarter offensive rebound and the Dreams win over Fever on Saturday. It took her 79 games to get it. Previously, Tina Charles held the record at 89 games. Real quick, Paul Skeens going to Paul Skeens. 6 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks, 4 hits, 2 earned runs versus the Rockies in Colorado.
Let's go.
Also, Sam Burns finished second in the U.S. Open. Finished 3 under par behind Wyndham Clark.
I was pulling for him.
Me too. Can I play it?
Yeah, he just said he was really proud.
Oh, wait, no, don't play it. Yeah, we're only.
Oh.
You had to finish by saying that's Tigers.
Oh, yeah, that's Tigers in pros.
Thank you, Alondra. It's
welcome.
After further review. We're short on time, so we'll play the Sam Burns cut. It was one of those sort of, on Father's Day, get you in the cockles of the heart, sub-cockles. Talking about his dad, what his dad told him after the round. We'll get to that. All right, it's After Further Review. SportsCenter's coming up. Get you caught up on national headlines. Monday shows are brought to you by Relief Windows. Windows, door siding, shutters, and shades. ReliefWindows.com. Baseball transfer portal stuff after SportsCenter.
AFR.
On Friday, we announced Drew Brees as our new partner at Parrish Construction and Roofing, and the announcements just keep coming because today we're proud to announce that at Parrish Construction and Roofing, we and our new partner, Drew Brees, are opening up a contest to give away a fortified roof to 2 lucky Louisiana homeowners. One in the Baton Rouge area, one in the New Orleans area. You can get all of the info at our website at parishbuilt.com, 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 or on our social media. How you can enter to win a fortified roof if you're not familiar. Fortified roofs effectively add extra layers of security that if you do have roof damage, it protects against water damage in the interior of your home. It'll help lower your insurance deductibles in many instances, so in your insurance rates. So you can learn more about how you can win a fortified roof from Parrish Construction and Roofing. Go to parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know, including our new partner, Drew Brees, at parishbuilt.com.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Bayou Ford is taking $12,000 off MSRP on the new 2026 Ford F-150 trucks, plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
I'm Billy Schmidt, and I've been with First American Bank for 13 years. I have a passion of getting to know customers, getting to know their journeys, getting to know their stories, and being a small part of that, and just continuing that, and taking those relationships and expanding out into the community.
This is SportsCenter. I'm Nick DeLuca. Plenty of college to the pros with the NBA draft coming tomorrow. How about a head coach adding his name to the mix? Michigan head coach Dusty May finalizing a deal to become the next head coach of the Dallas Mavericks. Went 64-13 in 2 seasons with the Wolverines after winning the national title this past season. First college head coach to take an NBA job since John Beilein left Michigan for the Cavaliers in 2019. Elsewhere, star free agent Trae Young intending to sign a 4-year, $212 million deal to stay with the Wizards will pair with the number 1 pick coming tomorrow. Could it be BYU's A.J. DeBansa says being the top pick means a lot to him.
I've been number 1 since I got ranked, so about 8th, 9th grade. I was like 14 years old, first ESPN rankings came out, and I haven't dropped throughout all of high school on mock drafts. I mean, I've been falling between 1 and 2, but I mean, I think on draft night I'll be number 1, kind of just complete it, and now I got to start all over again.
DeBansa on SportsCenter World Cup men's national team star Christian Pulisic returning to full training today.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Londra. Villarreal. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. A Saints standout from the off-season work we haven't talked enough about. That's coming up in 15 minutes from right now. We'll give you a final look in and preview of tonight's national championship, the finale. Oklahoma and North Carolina. Someone's going to take home college baseball's national championship. Our buddy Eddie Radosevich was here in hour 1 to preview that game. And then Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks later this hour as well. So still a lot to do, and glad you're hanging out with us here. Real quick, before we go any further, I do want to talk about some LSU baseball transfer portal targets. We were just in the break, and we heard on SportsCenter that Christian Pulisic is coming back, right? I wasn't listening, but you told me that.
Yeah, that he's back working out and stuff.
Oh, so is he going to play Thursday or no?
They didn't say definitively that he's going to play or not, but he's not. Okay. He's available.
I guess my point is, dude has a strained calf. We've already advanced, though, right?
Right.
US is advanced. So, like, chill, bro.
Yeah.
But then Luke was saying seeding, so if we win, then we get a better seed.
Yeah.
But then our guy, Tim Howard, who's big friend of the show, said earlier, can you play the Tim Howard thing? This is the best U.S. goalkeeper of all time.
The U.S. cannot unequivocally win the World Cup. The U.S. will have to play the greatest game they've ever played 3 times in a row. Sorry, 4 games in a row. Round of 16, quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. It is literally impossible for the U.S. to win the World Cup. That's going to come across crazy. People are going to say I'm whatever. That's just the reality. But we're super excited for this ride we're on.
Well, I feel great now.
It is literally impossible.
It ain't happening. Unequivocally.
But everybody's super excited. What? Tim, lie to me, man.
There's always that one guy.
Lie to me. So all that to say, I don't care about the seeding. We shouldn't care about the draw, right?
Right.
If Tim Howard's saying there's no way, well, what does it matter what your draw is?
Why not give yourself the best shot?
Yeah.
Maybe there is a way.
Maybe. But he's probably right. He knows way more. Oh, the other thing, too, is, so we're playing Turkey A?
Turkey.
No, I think they're going by Turkey A.
Oh, okay.
No, it's like I've heard people on the broadcast.
Okay.
It's Turkey A.
All right.
When did Turkey add an A? This feels
so
like...
I think like Americans were probably the only ones that were calling them Turkey.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
No, I think this is like I
think they've always called themselves that.
It's like when Travis Etienne all of a sudden became Travis Etienne.
Okay.
Or forever... Monty Ball was Monty Ball, and then he told everybody, actually, my name is Monte.
Yeah.
It's Monte Ball.
Right.
Or
Rihanna.
Is that a thing?
Oh, yeah. She says her name's Rihanna. She said that.
What?
Mm-hmm.
When did that happen?
A couple years ago.
I still say Rihanna. Or
Same.
I just go with Riri.
Riri.
Jadeveon Clowney.
Mm-hmm.
He was Jadeveon Clowney forever until he told everybody after we had been calling him Jadeveon Clowney for decades. It's actually Jadeveon. We're like, oh, cool. Neat. Thanks. We've been saying it wrong all the time. It's like people who call me Moscona.
I'm going to always correct someone on my name.
Yeah. What do they say?
Alejandra a lot.
Alejandra.
That's a common one. Villarreal is the common pronunciation of the last name.
Villarreal?
Villarreal. It's not what it is. It's Villarreal. So my point is, how did they wait so long to say something?
I don't know. But they're saying Turkey A. And I'm like, is it like Canada, like Turkey A?
I think Turkey's
Turkey
always
A?
called themselves that.
It feels like
Czech Republic's Czechia now.
Okay.
But they've always been Czechia to themselves.
To themselves.
Yeah.
But it feels like the world would have gotten a hold of Turkey A at some point. Olympics, World Cup, international competition, wars. I don't know. Turkey's been around a long time.
Yeah.
Hell a long time. To just now be like, oh, by the way, you got to add an A, like Canada.
Mm-hmm.
A to the end of our name. Turkey A. I don't get it. I need an explanation. I'm telling you, like, I'm ignorant. I'm ignorant of this. Like, I do not have I'm lacking information. I do not know why this happened. And all of a sudden now they're changing their name. Or we're calling them something different.
Okay. Do you want an answer?
If you have it, if you have the actual answer.
So Turkey officially changed its English name to Turkey A to embrace its authentic native identity. And the United Nations formally recognized the name change in 2022. So like I said, they've been calling themselves that. But the United Nations didn't recognize the English name change until 2022.
So, but Turkey A could have done this decades or centuries ago.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't spoken up to like whatever the native, blah, blah, whatever it is. What did you say? Like the native, what did you say?
Native identity.
The native identity.
So
okay. So it's not like we've knowingly been saying it wrong. They're only now saying, by the way, we actually preferred if you said Turkey A.
Yeah.
It's like Caribbean or Caribbean.
Right.
And I think Caribbean is said like that because it's the accent. If you're saying like the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Which when we English it, would you say, oh, Caribbean?
Right.
Yeah.
Like when you say Pirates of the Caribbean, you say Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Or like burrito.
Yeah.
That's some straight American stuff. Burrito. That's not the word. It's burrito.
Right.
But we go burrito.
Yeah.
Right?
You say Mexico, it's Mexico.
Well, yes. But I'm just meaning like when you put a little English accent on it, you know?
Yeah. Well, they also wanted to distance the nation from the Thanksgiving bird and apparently the negative slang term in English because turkey can also describe a failure or something stupid. So they wanted to distance themselves
You know
from
what?
that.
What's 3 straight strikes in bowling?
Turkey.
I don't think that's a failure.
No, that's great.
I think that's a great success. Great success.
So that's the, I guess, history on Turkey A.
I feel like while we just wasted a radio segment where I was supposed to talk about the transfer portal targets for baseball, which I'm going to do here in a minute, I feel like we did a lot of people a real service because I know this from doing this job long enough. None of us lives in a vacuum. None of us lives on an island. If one person's thinking it, other people are thinking it. And the fact that I was like, why are we calling them Turkey A now?
Mm-hmm.
There are other people who are wondering the same thing. And so I feel like we did a great service to people today to inform people of why Turkey is now Turkey A.
We did.
And I think what I'm going to do is this week, leading up to the United States against Turkey A, is I'm going to get a clip of a Canadian saying A. And every time I say Turkey, we'll play the clip of the A at the end. So I don't say we have a Canadian saying A because I think that would be funnier. And And I don't know that we'll ever have an opportunity to talk about Turkey A again on this show. Like, I've been doing this for 16 years. I don't know that we've ever talked about turkey on this show before, unless we're talking about the bird, like around Thanksgiving.
Right.
So the country, we will likely never have this opportunity again. So I'll use it for the next 3 days, and then we'll be done playing Turkey A, and we'll never talk about them again. And then you'll never have to hear the drop again.
Okay.
So can you find me a really Canadian drop? I'm
already trying to find one.
I'm thinking like Terrence and Phillip from South Park.
Sorry, I had it in queue, so I didn't hear what you said.
I'm thinking Terrence and Phillip from South Park.
Okay.
Now, a lot of that was like, I'll give you something to cry a boot. They did a lot of a boots. But there's got to be an A in there.
Okay.
A, just need to isolate the A. And so I'll say turkey and we'll play the clip of A.
Okay.
This feels like something we should do in a show production meeting and
Right.
not workshop
Not
on air.
Right.
But you know what?
Sausage.
I did not anticipate this going this way. And it only went that way because we heard in the top of the hour break the update on Christian Pulisic, and then you all told me that we're playing Turkey A, which I didn't know. I thought we're playing a different country. But either way, I'm here for it. To sing the national anthem loudly and to watch the U.S. whip foreigners. That's why I love international competition. A? How's the search going?
It's going good.
All right. See if we find something in the break. It's After Further Review, brought to you by Rouse's. Hey, if you are going to be watching the U.S. against Turkey A, maybe you're having a little watch party. Got an idea? Pop on into Rouse's, get everything you need. You want some barbecue? Because that's American. You can get it at Rouse's. You want some meat to throw on the grill? Burgers, steaks, get it at Rouse's because that's American. You want some ice cold beer like Bud Light? Get it at Rouse's. They have great beer selection over at Rouse's. Whiskey as well. Go make your groceries. They got you covered. Delicious desserts. Beautiful floral shop as well. Gents, how about you pop on into Rouse's today and just go grab some flowers for your significant other on the way home. Just pop into Rouse's, grab some flowers, bring a just because bouquet. A just because bouquet of flowers is a pretty incredible gift. You'll be winning in your marriage or your relationship. Trust your boy. Just go to Rouse's, the official supermarket of the Saints. Rouse's.com. Rouse's, this feels like home. Okay, any luck on A's? Any luck? Oh.
Yeah, I think I got one.
Are you
I
gonna?
just need to isolate it real quick.
Do you want to do it after the break?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so that's what we'll do. We'll break, we'll come back. We'll hear the Turkey A, we'll workshop it, and I promise there's two things I desperately have to get to. I do want to talk about the Saints standout that nobody's talking about, and also we are going to get to these LSU baseball portal targets. We'll get back on track next. It's AFR.
After further review.
Big shout out to our friends over at Duplessis Pools. If you missed the announcement last week, Duplessis Pools for the second consecutive year, named by Pool and Spa Magazine a top 50 pool builder in America. What's more, Duplessis was the only Louisiana pool builder to earn that designation. So you're talking about not just my opinion, now third-party validation, and of course, so many of you have trusted Duplessis to build your pool, your outdoor kitchen, put in that putting green, beautify your outdoor space, build your own outdoor oasis, your backyard paradise. Duplessis Pools can make it happen. Start at DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com. Hit the Pick Your Pool tab on the homepage. You'll see it right there. You can go through the whole process of designing your pool on the website. You want to pick out all your finishes, you can do it. You can even finance it, pay for it right there on the website. It's DuplessisPools.com, DuplessisPools.com. You're always welcome to go into their showroom on Airline Highway in Prairieville, or check them out online at DuplessisPools.com. DuplessisPools.com.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So check them out online today at lainsurance.net.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Sometimes you ignore
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
All right, the plot thickens. Got a text from my dad during the break. He says, I just got back from Turkey, which is true. He was on a church mission. They went to like Greece and Turkey and all over. He said, I just got back from Turkey. They called themselves Turkey when I was there. I don't know what Turkey A is. I mean, I feel like the Turkey A thing is kind of weird.
They just made it up.
You said the United Nations approved it. So, like,
yeah.
They didn't make it up. But I don't think this is like a universally accepted thing that this country that we've called Turkey for millennia now all of a sudden is Turkey A. But they want to be Turkey A?
Yeah.
We'll roll with you got an A?
Oh, wait, yes.
Okay. Turkey.
C?
That sounds like C.
No, it's A. But, it's the best I could find.
Right,
There's not a lot of people saying A on the internet.
There's a lot of Canadians that say A. We're going to work on it.
Okay.
Let's do it. Wait, let's try it again real quick. Turkey.
C?
That sounds like C.
Oh, wait, let me cut off the little front part of it.
That sounds like C.
Okay, wait. Say it again.
Turkey.
C?
A little better.
A little better. We'll work on it.
Name a Canadian. I'll look them up.
Shania Twain.
Do you think she says A?
Mike Myers. Jim Carrey. I know a lot. There's tons of famous Canadians.
Yeah.
Tons of famous Canadians.
Okay.
Seal.
Love him.
Actually, I don't know that he's Canadian. You just played that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Baseball transfer portal. LSU's got 6 additions, one of the top portal classes in America. And they have gone like upper crust, right? We've been over this. They're not going for depth or numbers. They're going for top tier guys. Bino Waters, Jason Walks. They've done Dawson Park, Landon Hood. They've been awesome so far. Cade Curlin. And there's a few more names worth keeping an eye on. Pete Nakos is reporting that Oregon outfielder Angel Laya is one of the top-ranked players left on the board. And he is one of the schools, or LSU is one of the schools in the mix for his recruitment. Got 2 years of eligibility remaining. Just finished up his freshman season at Oregon and had a nice freshman season in 2026 this year. So wherever he lands, he'll have 2 years of eligibility remaining as a freshman at 296, 14 homers. So an outfielder can hit for average and for power. We'll see. As of now, Waters, walks. That's 2 of your outfield spots. You got William Patrick coming back, but if you were able to add someone like Laya, who's one of the top remaining portal targets, you'd certainly do it. But but absolutely the target for LSU right now is arms. You are losing cumulatively over 300 innings pitched out of your bullpen with guys that are either out of eligibility, have transferred out, or are going pro or expected to go pro, like Devin Sheeran, Gavin Guidry. Obviously, Zach Cowan's out of eligibility, Grant Fontenot. So they need arms. 2 names to keep an eye on. One I've already shared with you, a lefty and a righty. The righty we've already talked about. The righty is Thomas Allen from Louisiana Tech. And he's a guy that sits mid-90s, runs it up to 97, 98. Really talented arm who's considering LSU, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. As I understand it, Oklahoma might have a slight lead, but LSU is firmly in the mix there for the guy who just spent this past year at Louisiana Tech. The other is a name I got over the weekend, and it's a lefty from Michigan. His name is Shane Brenham. So Brenham just finished his freshman season at Michigan. He's a lefty, 6'1", 181, and has 2 years of eligibility remaining. So he will not be a draft-eligible sophomore next year. So he's got wherever he goes, 2 years of eligibility. He's very likely a guy, as I understand it, that if he lands at LSU, would be a reliever in 2027 with an eye on being a left-handed member of the rotation in 2028 before he's off to the MLB draft. This past year at Michigan, a 3.88 ERA. He made 18 appearances, started 10 times through 65 innings. Now, he struck out 61 with 35 walks. Now, that is the concerning number. 35 walks in 65 innings pitched, but strikeout stuff and not afraid to run it in on you from the left side. And right now, this staff certainly needs to add left-handed arms. You're going to return Cooper Williams. You've got Plog coming back, Lockenmeyer. That's only 3. Now, Braxton Beatty, the freshman who late last week announced he was foregoing the MLB draft and will come to campus, that gives you a 4th left-handed arm. If you could add someone who's got 65 innings pitched in the Big Ten as another competent, experienced lefty, you'd love that. So that's one worth keeping an eye on that I was told is going to visit LSU this week. So another name, Shane Brenham, a lefty a reliever worth keeping an eye on for this coming season. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. 9 locations in all. Summer is here. This time of year where a lot of people get to the beach. You love to pop the question at the beach. See those pictures all the time on social media. Folks, down on bended knee with the breeze blowing, a beautiful sunset, picturesque backdrop to ask the most important question you'll ever ask. Well, you want the most beautiful ring, a beautiful natural diamond. You want to get it from Lee Michaels because Lee Michaels has been helping Louisiana get engaged for over 40 years. LMFJ.com is the website, LMFJ.com, or walk into any of their 9 locations. At Lee Michaels, they have perfected buying atmosphere. They want you to feel comfortable and at ease. That's not a comfortable spot for a lot of people. We don't buy jewelry every single day. But when you walk into Lee Michaels, they're going to offer you chocolates on a tray. They'll offer you something cold to drink. You want to try on 100 pieces of jewelry and not buy anything because you want to sort of get a feel? Do it. They want you to feel comfortable and thrilled with your purchase. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com, LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Remember, you can always email us, tweet us, or text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400 is where you can get us. Let's see. I got a text from Ben on the show text line. He says, my wife, Suna, is first-generation Turkish.
Okay.
She is baffled why they are saying turkey egg.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like
No, I'm going to believe the first-hand Turkish accounts.
Yeah.
I'm not going to believe Google.
I mean, my dad was just there, said nobody. Said Turkey A.
So
Here we have a Turkish woman, first-generation Turkish woman saying doesn't understand the Turkey A thing.
Feels a little pretentious now, huh? Like on Turkey's part?
Yeah. I mean, look, as someone who has had his name mispronounced his entire life, I'm very respectful of, like, being accurate. Something we do, Alondra, we call guests on the show. We'll always ask, get a pronunciation.
Mm-hmm.
If we're not sure of how to say the person's name, I want to say their name correctly on air. Because I've done a million interviews on other people's shows, and hey, well, I'm glad to welcome aboard great local radio talker in Baton Rouge, Matt Moscona. I'm like, you've never heard my show ever. You've never listened to a thing. Just have a modicum of pride and call a thing by its name. Ask someone how to pronounce their name. You know what I mean? And if Turkey wants to go by Turkey A, all right. I'm just a little confused by it.
Like, I'll call you that if you want, but why?
Yeah.
And why now?
Why now? Mason Lee said, tell Alondra to look up the South Park episode, Canada on Strike. Plenty of Canadian content that will work there.
Someone sent me another one that I think I found.
Is it South Park?
No. It was Doug and Bob McKenzie. Brain texted us, and then people were sending it on the ESPN text line.
Okay, you can text the station, by the way, as well. Thank you, Alondra. 499-1045. You have that open?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You want to shout out someone who gave it to you? Did they give you a name or
say
just
their
numbers?
name, no.
Okay. You think we're nearing in on this?
I think so.
You have one? Can you play it?
No, I need to cut it.
Okay.
Yeah, but we can play it after this.
All right, let me do this. We are a little more than half an hour away from first pitch. North Carolina and Oklahoma for the national championship in college baseball. Jimmy's here in 15 minutes for Otter Locks. See if he's got a pick on this ball game tonight. Jimmy had a rough week last week. My guy was like 0-9-1 on Otter Locks to end the week. Look, Otters won tons. And everybody, look, there's ebbs and flows. It's part of, you're going to sports bet, you're going to live that. Strikes and gutters. Last week, not great. Let's get back on the horse this week and knock it out of the park. We'll get to Otter Locks in 15 minutes. Quick break. Monday show is brought to you by Relief Windows. When we come back, I do want to get to this. So I found this fascinating. One Saints standout from offseason work we are not talking enough about. We'll get to it next on AFR.
After further review.
It is 89 degrees at 5:30 in the afternoon. Y'all, get used to it. We all know we live here. The relentless heat is here. And it ain't leaving probably until November. So make sure your AC is ready to keep up. Our friends at River City's 1 Hour Air can help. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. You can spell it out, O-N-E, 1hourbr.com for River City's 1 Hour Air. Couple things to remind you about. Number one, mention the Moscona special. They're like $25 off any system repair, just for mentioning the show. That's number one. And I would always remember, with the preseason AC tune-up, that is complimentary when you join the maintenance club. So when you're part of the membership club, that seasonal maintenance is complimentary, so it basically pays for the annual fee right there. River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Another roof gone too soon.
Looks like neglect. There's no doubt about it. This is a case of poor installation.
At Pelican Roofing, we don't guess. We investigate to find the real cause of your roof's problems. Call Pelican Roofing for your free roof investigation today.
Case closed.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $18,000 off MSRP plus 3.9% financing for 60 months. $18,000 off plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Championships are won with preparation, and so are great roofs.
The Tigers don't cut corners on the floor. Parrish Construction and Roofing won't cut corners on your home either.
Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing.
ParrishGroup.com.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Rolling along here, hour number 3 in a Monday edition of AFR. We always appreciate Brandon Holly and the gang over at Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com. The New Orleans Saints have wrapped up their offseason work. Training camp will begin July 27th. So got about a month and a half to go whatever they're going to do. Take a vacation, enjoy family, work out, get prepped for the season, all that stuff. It was interesting that after the month-long OTAs and mandatory minicamp, we spent so much of this offseason discussing some of the offensive weapons for this team. Justifiably so. But we might have missed the biggest one. It was interesting because ESPN.com had all their NFL Nation reporters list the biggest standout of the offseason work. And Kat Terrell, who covers the Saints, listed a receiver, just not the receiver any of us have been talking about. She listed Bryce Lance. And the write-up is the 4th-round pick got his time to shine during minicamp with Chris Olave and Jordan Tyson limited and a number of the other wideouts hurt. Lance made it count during the 7-on-7s and 11-on-11 periods, working out with both the first and second team quarterbacks. He scored a touchdown 11-on-11 red zone work on a pass from Spencer Rattler on the final day of minicamp and also had a touchdown from Tyler Shough in 7-on-7s that day. Lance might not get as many reps when the other receivers get healthy, but it's a positive start for the rookie. We spent so much of this offseason discussing Chris Olave's contract, Jordan Tyson's hamstring, Jalen Polk's return after missing all of last year when the Saints traded for him while he was injured. And we might have missed one of the biggest stories altogether here with Bryce Lance. Let me give you a quick reminder about Lance. Saints used a 4th-round pick on him, receiver out of North Dakota State. After the draft and the post-draft press conference, this is what Mickey Loomis said about Bryce Lance.
We're adding talent to the room. We're adding a developmental 6'3", 4'4" player that played it. He didn't play at a Power 4 conference. He played for North Dakota State, and so there's probably some development that we need to do there.
I think that might be underselling it a bit because Lance is 6'3", but he's at the combine he was 6'3" and 3/8", so he's actually taller than 6'3". He's 209 pounds. And remember, a year ago, what did the Saints receiving group lack? Size. Olave, Cooks, Shaheed. They're all the same dude. They're all 5'10", 5'11". Short, small, diminutive guys. They traded for Devon Vele, but he did nothing the first half of the season. Finally started to break through, then got hurt. And Lance was a big play machine the last 2 years at North Dakota State. I get it, North Dakota State. But in 2024, he had 17 touchdowns. And then this year, 2025, he averaged 21.2 yards per reception. Mickey Loomis said he was a 4.4 guy. No, he wasn't. He was a 4.34 guy at the combine. Laser timed at the combine, 4.34 in the 40. At 6'3", 210 pounds. Dude can fly. And just a big play waiting to happen. The bottom line is, when I look at the New Orleans Saints offense, what they've surrounded Tyler Shough with now, weapons. Let me give you some context. The Saints wrapped up the 2025 season Week 18 against Atlanta. Here's the list of the players that caught a pass in that game. Week 18, Saints, Falcons. This is the list of players that caught a pass in that football game. Juwan Johnson, Dante Pettis, Audric Estime, Kevin Austin Jr., Taysom Hill, Ronnie Bell, Samori Toure. That's the list. Yo. 7 players. The only guy on that list who's going to be on the team this year is Juwan Johnson. I mean, you were trying to make a run late season with that. Now, Chris Olave, Jordan Tyson, Jalen Polk, then Devon Vele, then Bryce Lance. Oh, by the way, you've got Juwan Johnson back, and you've added Noah Fant, and you've got Travis Etienne, and maybe Alvin Kamara. We'll see, who's, made a habit of catching 80 passes a year in his career when he's been healthy. All that to say, man, to think they actually had a pulse offensively with Tyler Shough late in the season, with that collection of who? Catching passes, and now Olave and a top 10 pick in Tyson and a former first-round pick in Polk, who you're not asking to be your number one, and Vele, who's a big body guy who started to produce for you last year before he got injured. And oh, by the way, is the 6'3", 210-pound big play waiting to happen who runs 4.34. Feels a little different than tossing the ball around Ronnie Bell and Samori Toure like they did in Week 18 last year. Yo, I'm not a sunshine pumper. You listen to this show long enough, you know that about me. Some of you accuse me of being too far the other way, being too negative in my attempt to try to be fair. I watched Tyler Shough show the it factor. It's the intangible thing that you can't define, so I don't love to do that, but I think we all know what that means. Game-winning drives, tough throws in traffic, all that stuff. And that was with Dante Pettis and Kevin Austin and a broken-down Taysom Hill and Ronnie Bell and Samori Toure. And now you're going to give that guy Eric McCoy back, David Edwards at left guard. You draft a top 10 receiver. There's real reason for optimism, especially in a bad division. Excited to see it, man. It may blow up. It may not work. He may be a second-year quarterback that doesn't take the next step. We'll see. But it won't be because they didn't give him weapons. And Bryce Lance is certainly one of them we're probably not talking enough about. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com, Arco.com. Y'all, last week, unfortunately, we had the first name storm come through, and certainly did some damage in a lot of spots. Avondale really got hit hard. But, it's just another reminder of living here, the risks we face. And, of course, that storms come. And when storms come, it can do damage. It can knock out power. And you got to have a plan. Most of us have a plan in our home. Maybe you have a backup generator for your home, a standby generator for your home. We do. After we learned that lesson. We're never going down that road again. We had a generator installed at our house. Arco does the same thing for your business. This is Critical Backup Energy Solutions. Industrial, commercial, whatever business you run, power goes out, what happens to your business? If you've had to answer that question to the negative in the past, well, here's your answer. Arco, everything's turnkey. Sell, service, install, rent, all of it. Arco Power Systems. ARCCO. Arco.com, Arco.com, Arco.com. You're a business owner. You need industrial Generac generator power. You want Arco Power Systems. ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com. All right, first pitch, Oklahoma and North Carolina for the national championship, about 19 minutes away. First pitch may come a few minutes after that, so the TV broadcast will begin in 19 minutes. But the Sooners and the Tar Heels for the national champion. As it sits right now, North Carolina a -154 favorite, Oklahoma a +120 underdog. Of course, Sooners won game 1, Tar Heels won game 2 on Sunday. The deciding game 3 is here tonight at Omaha at the Schwab. Will Oklahoma win their first national championship since 1994? Will North Carolina win their program's first ever national championship? They've been to Omaha a dozen times. They've never won the last game. Could that change tonight? We'll find out here in a few short hours. Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks. I do like Oklahoma. I very much believe North Carolina is the better team. I think when you get into a postseason like this, I tend to go with the hotter team, and that undeniably, I think, has been Oklahoma. So I think the Sooners will get it done tonight. I am pulling, though, for North Carolina. I am not a root for the SEC guy. Oklahoma winning a championship does nothing for LSU, so put on the Tar Heel blue and hope the Heels get it done. But hopefully it's a good baseball game. We'll see how it rolls tonight. All right, we're going to knock out our final break of the show. We'll come back. Jimmy will be here for Auto Locks. We'll wrap up the show next, find out what we're betting on when Jimmy's here. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
If you're a business owner and you're in search of security, automation, phone, cable, and maybe most importantly, internet service provider, and you haven't checked out Rev Fiber yet, why not? Over at Parish Construction and Roofing, we are Rev Fiber customers. At the Moscona household, we are Rev Fiber customers as well. And I couldn't recommend it highly enough. Great local people. We're talking about an all-fiber network, lightning-fast internet speeds up to 5 gigs. And again, with the all-fiber network, the cables are buried, so you don't have to worry about a storm coming, knocking down power lines, knocking down cable lines, and knocking you offline because it's buried. So, and Rev Fiber, they're local. So when you're calling the call center, you're getting a local human to talk to. They're not, forwarding you to a call center overseas. RevFiber.com. Check them out online at RevFiber.com. RevFiber.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season, and we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake. Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Love telling you every day about River Parish Contractors, rpcontractors.com, rpcontractors.com. Tell you so much about the great work that River Parish Contractors does, but really what they need right now is you if you're looking to work. And maybe you already got a job, and that's awesome. What if you could have a better job? With a day and night shift available, overtime, as much of it as you want to work, long-term work. It's not one of those things where you'll have 2 weeks of work and then they're done. They have got projects stacked up, lined up, ready to go. So you have long-term work here. Full insurance, 401k, paid time off. It's River Parish Contractors. If you're interested in learning more, call my buddy Big Jake over at River Parish Contractors. I'm going to give you the phone number. But again, one of the best things about River Parish Contractors is you are home every night with your family. All the work is local. 318-547-1000, 318-547-1000, 318-547-1000 for River Parish Contractors.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows. We always appreciate Brandon, Adrian, the whole gang over at Relief Windows for being great supporters of ours for so many years. And we encourage you, if you need windows, doors, siding, shutters, or shades, Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. All right, one thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Yo, Otter, what up?
What's up, Matt? Apologize about last week. That was our worst week in a while. Personally, my worst week of the year.
Said it.
So.
Listen, if you're on the betting bus, strikes and gutters, man, you're going to have those, but you got to be willing to persevere through a run like that because you know the wins are coming.
Yeah, sounds good to me. So, and maybe off day on the air, but a solid day yesterday. So maybe we're getting back on track.
All right.
Let's give it a shot tonight. Start off. This is compliments of Max, the soccer guru.
Okay.
So, over 2.5 Norway Senegal tonight. Senegal is very aggressive, not great defense, he says. And I even know this. Manchester City's Holland is the best player in the country. Big blonde guy, he's bigger, stronger, faster than everybody on the damn field. You can see that. Over 2.5 total goals, the over-under in Norway, Senegal tonight. I failed to hunt the pick on the college game.
Okay.
We like Oklahoma. Like Oklahoma in the series before it started. Staying with that. Still getting the plus money tonight. They do have a starting pitching advantage. The North Carolina starters over a 70 ERA, almost a 2 whip. I mean, anything over 1.3 is not really good. And then they also pitched their star, the high school senior who turned freshman, skipped a year, and pitched 65 pitches last night. So they say he's still available. Man, yeah. I mean, really, an inning, maybe 2. You know how it goes. The pitch count police will be out on him if he throws tonight. But we like Oklahoma, and I do like the under. I'm betting the park. So 9.5. It's still the unders have been more profitable than the overs for this. Not as drastic with a lot of wind blowing out, but we're going to go under 9.5 in Oklahoma. So the dog in that one.
Okay.
Yankees are underway. We got them already. Minus 130 on the road, and then we're going to take Milwaukee. Well, Brady Singer, speaking of College World Series, it's been a rough year for him. I mean, we're talking about this college kid who's got a rough whip. Brady Singer's got a worse one. It's almost 2. And he wiggled his way out of a lot of trouble. The Reds were 0-15 before his start last time. He finally got a win. That's not going to happen tonight. We've got the Brewers. They are really, really good. -1.5 on the road. And the Cubs, Mets, they might be rained out. We had the Cubs earlier today.
Okay.
Small favorite on the road. Great pitching matchup. Their lineup starting to show little signs of waking up as well, but I'm not sure. That might be postponed.
I don't see it on the board right now, Otter.
If they took it off the board, then it's PPD.
Okay. All right. So in the college game, Oklahoma and the under. In the World Cup tonight, Norway, Senegal over 2.5 goals. And then in Major League Baseball, the Yankees on the money line and the Brewers on the run line laying the 1.5, which is coming back at plus $1.01 right there.
Are the Yankees underway yet?
They are. Yankees are up 1-0.
Okay, good.
A good
there
start.
We go.
Yep, good start for the Yankees already.
Look. Come on, man. Small ball. Let's get going. Small victory.
Where are you tomorrow?
We're at Dozy Place on Government Street in the heart of Mid-City.
Awesome spot. All right, good luck tonight, Otter. Thank you.
All right, good luck.
All right, man. It's after further review. Oh, by the way, Jimmy, of course, is a Williamson Eye Center patient, as we mentioned many times, as am I. But we had two very different refractive issues. See, I'm nearsighted. Could barely see my hand in front of my face. So I had LASIK nearly 8 years ago. Still to this day, almost 44 years old, seeing 20/20. Jimmy needed the custom lens replacement. I mean, he was the one grabbing the readers and needing the flashlight to look at the menu in the dark restaurant. If you can relate to that, maybe it's the custom lens replacement. But you won't know what options are available to you until you go see Dr. Blake Williamson. You have that consultation. You learn what options are there. And listen, whatever might be the thing preventing you from making that phone call. Like for me, I'll tell you, I was worried about putting a laser on my eye, very candidly. And then I had the conversation with Dr. Blake and learned that LASIK is actually the safest, statistically, the safest elective procedure in the history of mankind. So there are things like that through the process that will help put your mind at ease, whatever it may be. Maybe you're worried about price or ability to pay. Listen, they got financing options for 24 months with 0 interest. Just learn more about your options and change your life. Be able to wake up and just see. Not have to reach for contacts or glasses, never have to worry about your readers again. Dr. Blake Williamson makes that dream a reality for people every single day. It's the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. WilliamsonEye.com. All right, it's been a really good show. Eddie Radosevich was here in Hour 1. Sooner Scoop previewed the national championship game. Jake Madison was here. If you missed it last hour, tomorrow's the NBA draft. Pels sounds like they're working really hard to trade back into the top 10. Ament, the big forward, stretch forward from Tennessee, looks like he's the target for New Orleans. We'll see if they're able to get a deal done. We'll certainly preview that tomorrow on the day of the NBA draft. Had a lot of Saints talk today as well, and LSU got a 3-star commit. They flipped from Houston over the weekend, a big receiver out of North Louisiana. If you missed anything, AFR On Demand presented by Breck Golf. So book your tee time at golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. YouTube podcast, anywhere you can always get AFR On Demand. Okay, one more order of business to go before we get out of here, Alondra.
Okay.
We know that Turkey apparently has changed their name to Turkey A, although that is
questionable.
It's being disputed.
Yeah.
By native
Turkish?
Turks.
Yeah.
Yes, by native Turks. But if we are going to say Turkey A, I want to use a Canadian A. Turkey A? You know, like they say in Canada?
Yeah.
A. A. And a boot?
Yeah.
So I want to say Turkey will have a drop for the A. And after Thursday, we'll never have a chance to talk about this again because we'll never talk about Turkey ever again.
Ever.
Unless if the U.S. plays them in soccer again in 4 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so you grabbed a few. Is there just one or do you have multiple?
There's just one. I don't think they're going to work.
Well, let's try it. The U.S. is playing Turkey. Oh, I kind of like it.
It's actually better than the other one.
I mean, it's a millisecond of a drop. I mean,
that's why I don't think it works.
Well, no, but that's why. But what it's just saying A. It's not going to be anything like long and drawn out.
Right.
So you just have to be quick on the trigger.
Okay.
Do we know the line between the U.S. and Turkey? I mean, I think it kind of works.
Oh wait, wrong one. Sorry.
That's good.
Yeah.
Are the U.S. because you have to say are the U.S. not is the U.S.
Right.
Are the U.S. favored against Turkey? I think we got a winner. I mean, unless we got a better option somewhere along the way. If someone wants to pass it along, write down on a sheet of paper, slide it to us, or text us or emails. All right, it's going to do it for us. We're getting on down the road. Alondra, Paulie, thanks. Y'all have a great night. See you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, quick reminder about Parish Restoration. ParishRestoration.com. Tell you every day to kill mold, remove odor. They can help you out if you have water intrusion, have mold, think you might. Parish Restoration. They'll come by, spray their patented non-toxic dry fog treatment. Jim Woodworth and the gang over at Parish Restoration, man, they do awesome work. So it's a more cost-effective, more effective treatment. And by the way, they can dry fog your house in half a day. So have mold, think you might, not sure you want them to check out. They certainly can do that. Not only commercial or residential, but also commercial. They fog one of the largest buildings in the state of Louisiana. So really, it doesn't matter if it's your home, office, church, school, doctor's office, gym, workout, training facility. You want to sanitize, remove odor, get rid of mold. They can help you. ParishRestoration.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season, and we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our Lay of the Lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit LouisianaPropane.com.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.